Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, as if we need to tell you what the show is about, European Fan Fest, it's come and gone, as is Kingdom Hearts 3, which is why we skipped the show last week, and those of you who listen every week, well, you knew that, but now we're back and ready to do our show. Heads up, we will not be having a show the week of February 19th, because I'm moving, so don't expect the show that week either. But anyway, let's get started. Since we know the topic, I'm one of your hosts, Michael Mr. Happy Promo. Of course, joining me is Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyh, aka Greyfox, aka you, my boy Blue. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm
you got a move coming soon. Like,
oh yeah, no, I'm doing all right. There's still plenty of stuff to pack, but I gotta throw some stuff out at the same time, so it's not all gonna be coming with me to the new place. So I do have a fat cat who's sleeping on my charging wire. So I'm gonna need you to move your ass, Aloha. And he doesn't want to because he's sleeping on my PS4.
Perfect.
Yep, of course. And we wanted to bring on a guest for a show like this, so it's hype news, so we brought a hype man, and none other than our local samurai aficionado, Fahros. How's it going?
Thank you for having me, man. I'm hyped to be here.
Sam Main coming through.
Really that
and
exciting?
I'm hype. Not only am I Sam Main coming through, but we're going to be getting our hands on one of those gun blades soon. Suckers, let's go!
Wait. Does this mean you're switching to tank? Are you going to main tank now?
It's going to be my tank. I'm not going to main nothing besides Sam, but it's going to be.
Says, but,
okay. You know. Okay.
Well, words only mean so much. We'll wait.
Hey, man, I've been Sam solid this entire expansion through the ups and the downs, and it's mostly been downs. So
you have.
It's mostly been downs. So I think this is as good a testament as any.
Well, let's see how you hold on when the next expansion comes, because any of our jobs at any moment could be ruined.
That's true.
All right.
I'm just trying to imagine how it could get worse.
Well, I can give you some scenarios.
Yeah.
Let's see. Samurai, less DPS than everyone else. Yeah, worse. That officially would make it worse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, European Fan Fest is come and gone. We've got a little bit of new information in regards to new jobs, new areas, new primal, and then a lot of speculation, which has kind of been the name of the game when it comes to Shadowbringers. Just constantly going, I wonder what... Are they? Will they? Could they? Did they? Man? What's man? What do you man over there?
Well, before we kind of dive into it, I just want to get both of you both your overall thoughts on it. What did you think about, well, we'll talk about the keynote first. Like, what did you think about the keynote? Because in my opinion, it was a solid keynote. I still think in terms of, generating hype, North America got it beat in terms of, having more information versus new information.
Fahros, you're the guest. You can go first.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got more information from... I think NA FanFest had a beat on info. But, dude, it's just the extended trailer, man. Like, that was too good. That was too good. So, that was hype. There's a lot of hype news we got from this recent one. So I thought it was good. I wasn't disappointed by any means. I heard some people were disappointed. People were coming in saying, oh, what do you think about this? And I was hyped. And they were like, wow, you're a breath of fresh air. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why is anybody not excited about this information? So I don't know. I was pleased. But I think I'm pretty easy to please.
That's why you're the hype man.
Yeah.
For me, I liked it. I don't necessarily feel like NA had it beat. NA gets the first swing, I think is more accurate for me. Not so much that it's better info, but it's the first strike. So everything after that needs to either be brand new or needs to elaborate on the things that NA started. Like NA, we learned what trusts were. NA, we learned about the world visits. NA, we learned about the Numo. NA, we got teased for the Gunblade wielding job in Vieira. And then here, we got those things revealed with some question marks still. We got another new another new beast tribe with another new primal for a trial. We got some zones with some music and some walking around, and I was happy with this one, but again, the anxiety of not what we don't know is really the big thing for me. And one of the big things was that we know we have one more FanFest in 6 weeks, March 23rd.
Yep.
And unless I was mistaken, they said patch 4.56 would come after that, meaning it would have to be on the 26th or the 27th. And how much more can they really talk about at FanFest right before all the most major spoilers are put into the game?
That could be a good sign. It must mean they have some really good stuff to talk about to warrant a FanFest before the patch, yeah?
I mean, well, I've kind of been memeing it happy about the whole 15 thing. Well, that's something completely separate.
Oh, we're talking about the keynotes, Sly.
Yeah, we're talking about the keynotes. But in terms of Shadowbringers info, there's not a lot more they could say besides the new jobs, going into detail about the maintenance, which they'll do that on a separate stream all on its own. Maybe some Disciple of Hand land stuff. They go into further detail about that. More areas, another primal. They could tease another primal, and then raid. Actual info about the raid, what it's going to be, what it's going to entail. So that's not a lot when you think about it.
Did you say combat adjustments?
Not till May.
Yeah, not till May.
Oh, that's not till after the next FanFest?
Yeah, we won't get the full scope of the the job maintenance until they do that really big stream from some remote location. I don't know where they're going to.
Yeah, it's always from some weird remote. When they go to talk about job changes, they're always in a castle or something.
Yeah,
it's like, why are you here? They're like, oh, well, we wanted to be. So it's like, all right, I guess I can't argue that.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot they could talk about. It's just what they won't talk about. What they can't or they won't yet. This FanFest, we started getting more hints at what types of content are returning, which we kind of anticipated. They said more exploration content, so dial into your Eurekas. They mentioned, another deep dungeon. They said those are considered standard. We know we're getting 9 dungeons instead of 8. So why are we getting an extra dungeon all of a sudden at the beginning of the expansion? Is it replacing a trial? We're still getting a trial. Why do we only know one of the primals? We have to assume that's lore related. They said that the biggest problem right now is they want to talk about things, but we haven't seen.
They can't.
Yeah, they literally can't because it's going to demolish all the surprise coming from part 2.
I'm happy with Titania. I'm happy with that.
Is it Titania or Titania?
Titania. You can go either way.
Okay.
Just Queen of the Fairies. Queen of the Fairies.
Okay. I just didn't know, so I figured I'd ask. So yeah, let's go into what we did learn and what we still haven't learned, because actually I think the biggest topic about EU is what we don't know going into Japan. So first of all, we got that extended trailer. Dude, blob sweat. Just
I was screaming. That was way better than I thought it was gonna be.
It was just maximum blob sweat. I was just like, oh, okay. There's a lot to unpack right there. Because a lot. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, basically it's the same trailer as the first time, but they did 2 things. They added a scene with Urian J and Ishtola. Ishtola in quotes.
Yeah, right. Air quotes.
Them in the Raktica Greatwood, standing on a wooden tower, watching as the Raktica burns, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Talking about defending and waiting for their friend to return. As Sly has brought up, though, Ishtola is briefly referred to as Master Matoya, and that raises a whole hell of a lot of questions.
Ooh, the questions this weekend. Oh my god. Is she Matoya? Did Matoya die? Did Y'shtola die? What happened? Oh, the speculation.
I mean, what will happen?
It's the Final Fantasy 14 parent swap, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ginyu showed up and had a good time. That's all I know. Start swapping bodies all over. Yeah, it's hard to tell because there's always red herrings. Yoshida himself admits that he wants these trailers to make us think things, and that they don't necessarily mean those things.
Right.
And so what?
No, but you can't say anything like that doesn't mean that. If you got one character and you call them by another character's name, like that's not some like, oh, JK, he just slipped up, said the wrong name. That means there's something going on there.
Well, based on what we know right now, we could like draw a couple of conclusions. Like based on the last patch.
I think the least likely one is that she's taken on a title. I can understand taking on her master's name.
That's a possibility. That's one of the possibilities I have.
But not like Master Matoya Y'shtola. Like, she just legit replaced the name. She's not title. You know?
Yeah, from what we know about Matoya, do we really know a lot about Matoya? To the point where we could say Matoya is more of a title, kind of like I don't know. The only Harrison I have is Rynoet Chikara. It's not a name; it's a title. Is Master Matoya a name passed down? Is this the only Matoya that we know about? We haven't had a cutscene or any, lore inferences to kind of make that decision. So yeah, it's the least likely, like you're saying.
We also know that Master Matoya, again, not title. Right. Like, again, I can understand taking your master's name if something unfortunate were to have happened. But, I mean, it could also be, J might not even be talking to her. He might just be saying some nonsense to himself right there. Because he's looking at the cards, wondering why he drew 3 spires, and he's just being like, do I accept this? Or do I defy it? But because I can't deny it.
No, he got 3 ewers, dude.
None of these are bad. Yeah, he used full spread and he got... Or a sleeve draw. He did sleeve draw.
Yeah. No, dude, the guy's not in the right frame of mind. You saw his glam, right? He's like standing there in a half dress.
Oh, don't get started about the glam.
Come on, man. The guy's not thinking straight, but that might not even be him.
Yeah.
Dude,
Did you not like the glam? Did you not like the glam?
Listen, he looks pretty fabulous.
The voice acting and what they did with his eyes was badass. But then if you stopped looking at his face and you looked at the rest of him, you were just like feeling kind of weird. Like, okay, I want to think you're cool right now, but they put you in this dress and you got this fatty choker and it's like, what are you trying? Like, come on, you must have portaled into this body or something and you didn't get to go through character select or character customization, man. Like something, you must have just happened upon this, right?
He changed jobs. He's level 80. That's the new Astro artifact armor for level 80. That's not even I'm not even kidding. It is the new Astro artifact gear.
What doesn't the guy know about glamour plates? He can have that shit in advance. Ready.
What I'm hearing is even Fahros, who plays Samurai, is sick of robes.
Wow.
And the choker, he's like into some shit.
He's into something.
Oh man. Yeah, unfortunately there's so much in the dark. I can't say anyone sounds more right or wrong. And also, again, Yoshida literally said he wants you to look at that scene and think you know. He wants you to look at the trailer and be like, oh, I know. I get it. And he's just like, no, I wrote it myself. You don't get it.
Yeah, that means there's some funny business going on.
Yeah, there's definitely some funny business. I mean, I look at the previous trailers. It's not like in Heavens where we fought an army of Hraesvelgers. We fought Nidhogg and his horde. Yeah. And then on top of that, half the stuff in the Stormblood trailer, we don't even get to see the actual fight against Lys. It's alluded to, but that's about it. And then we don't have a scene where we just break all the rules of Kugane and don't get our asses chased down by the Sekisagumi. He's just like, oh, I just kicked their asses. Let me look up at my friends in the distance.
True. Yeah, we shouldn't take it that literally. You're right. Yeah. That's a fair point. Did it strike you as odd as how Urianger, Y'shtola, air quotes, Thancred, didn't they all look younger to you? Did you feel like they looked?
No, Thangred looked way older. On the other hand, he went from pretty boy to seasoned pretty boy. And ordering on Jay, we see him with his mask 90% of the time. So seeing the upper half of his face is an improvement. We've seen it once.
Yeah, the age was just throwing me off. It didn't feel like it was. There's maybe something subtle. I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't the real them.
And that's a definite theory that's been thrown around that these aren't the scions we know.
They're Ascians, bro. Just accept it. They're just Ascians. We're the warrior of darkness. Now the scions are all Ascians. That's it. That's all it is. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's no problem. Easy. Relax, Fahros. It's not serious.
He's mean.
You want to know what's funny though?
I'm shook.
When we were theorizing who the girl in the dress was, I theorized that it was the actual Lise, and I was like, this is the least likely scenario. We know Ida has a sister. I think it's not very likely, but it could be her sister. And then we find out, well, it's not, but it is, all that stuff. Yeah. So we get that scene. And then we get the extended scene, which is basically our Gunbreaker trailer. With I want to clarify something for people. Gunblades in Final Fantasy VIII, they didn't actually fire bullets.
Right. Yeah.
The bullets basically hit the blade and make it vibrate like crazy fast to the point where it like hurts a lot.
I thought they had like little shotgun explosions that might have came out like very short range though.
What
like
they do, basically the shells hit the back of the blade and explode, and it creates a mass vibration.
It's exactly what Thancred does.
Pretty much, yeah. So we didn't pick up anything other than he swung twice, reloaded, swung again. So now everyone's gonna assume you get 2 shots and then you're done.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just a big thing about that. But it was basically our trailer for Gunbreaker. I mean, that's all it is. Aloha, what are you doing? Hey,
I was so excited to see that, man. I felt it was really intentional. They put in the reload. Like that's going to be a mechanic. That's going to be a job gauge, or 100%. that's going to be a cooldown or something. It's going to be about managing ammo. I feel like expelling it during or in between your slices, and then reloading and putting it back out there. And I just think that sounds awesome.
Why are you fighting me? Why are you fighting me, Aloha? Why won't you let me just coddle you?
Dude.
Aloha, stop causing trouble, or I'm going to have to pick you up forever. Okay? You're a big cat. You're a big cat. All right, go. Go, Aloha. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, yeah. There's not really much else to say there, other than we get confirmation that the girl in the hood is indeed Minfilia.
I got choked up.
I suspected it enough to the point where I was just like, okay, that's what I thought.
I kind of did too, but that is the magic of Final Fantasies that I will never be able to explain. No matter how much I expect to predict something, it's still going to get me emotional and choked up when I see it. It's the music, it's the characters, it's all the journey we've been on with them, man. The presentation, it gets me every time. Unavoidable.
It was just good to get confirmation that it's exactly who we thought it was. It's like, well, all the scions are... Especially when you see the first half of the trailer, because you're like, okay, 2 scions, 3 scions, 4 scions. Too bad Papa Limo's not in the key artwork. He's gone. Boy is dead. What do you want, Aloha? He saved us. He did it. I still believe he's going to pop up somewhere. Like
I think it will. We interacted with the last person who did the same thing he did.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think we'll see him again.
I never have faith that it's truly over. Somehow. Especially, dude, there's going to be some crazy... It's going to be like, yo, Papa Limo sacrificed himself to create this jail around Shinryu, who got fused with Xenos, and now Xenos is in an Elzen body, but he's got Papa Limo in him. There's going to be some stupid shit like that. Unless you see a body, they ain't dead. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we're going deep. Dude, trust me, we've had all these like red string theories about stuff over the past however many days. So we've got one coming later that somebody put in my chat, and I was like, you know what? I'll one up that, and I posted it on Twitter, and everyone was just like,
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, you do know which one we're talking about.
No, I think I do too.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So yeah, it was a hype trailer. There's still one more full trailer. And if I may suggest that we will see Alphino and Alice in that trailer.
I can agree with that.
I think the remaining characters in the key artwork, the remaining scions in the key artwork that haven't been in the trailer, will be in the final version.
Yeah.
And notice these are all the scions who've been called.
Yep.
Of course. That's why it could be another star that we're looking at right now, man.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
I think so too.
I cannot say yes or no because I can't disprove it. I can't prove. I can't do anything.
Well, you don't have any suspicions?
I haven't heard anything that I think is vehemently wrong.
Okay.
So
it's all happening.
Yeah, it's just all the scions other than us were called, and now we're going to become the Warrior of Darkness, and whatever happened to them is something else about to happen. That's it. There's stuff to do and whatnot, you know? So we'll have to wait and see. That'll be in 6 weeks. We'll get that full trailer. I wonder if they'll post a trailer at JP FanFest, but still keep some things out until after 4.5 Part 2 comes out.
Probably.
If we get another trailer.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Okay. It was pretty hype. I really got to give Soken credit. His track on that trailer is just stellar.
Dude, I thought it was done the first time. The first trailer we got. I was like, okay, this is a legitimate rock and roll Final Fantasy theme. And I'm like, it's perfect. It's done. And then I see the battle theme start in this one and it kicks into overdrive. And I'm like, man, it somehow got better.
Oh man. I just hope that that they misspoke when they said that the patch part 2 would be after FanFest. Because I'm like, I remember them saying it and I was like, what? No. But then it also, because if it's the week before, then it kind of sucks for the people who are going to FanFest. If it's the week after, it kind of feels like they have to hold some stuff back. So I just want it. I just want it now. That's all I know.
I hope it comes before. I don't think it makes a ton of sense to have it the day or two after, but maybe they're not thinking that way.
Maybe. I don't know. But if you're saying they can't tell us stuff because of lore, and I'm like, all right, but I want to know.
Yeah.
You haven't changed the fact that I want to know. So anyway, we got into the actual announcements. They did a bunch of recapping and stuff of things that we had seen from the previous FanFest. And I think the one that probably made the most splashes was Gunbreaker, which is the name of the 4th tank being added to Final Fantasy XIV. It wields a gunblade. It uses ammo to empower its attacks and for other things. Now, I heard that and immediately went, that sounds a lot like Dark Arts.
Yeah, I see it being like this might be the first tank that has an energy system that like fills up, almost like TP. Because there's not going to be TP.
Well, they all have an energy, like the warrior gauge. They all have gauges that just fill and you deplete them.
But you build it with the other ones, right? Like Beast Gauge, you build by attacking. What if this one's just like a timed thing that you're expending?
Oh God, I don't want to do that.
And then it's just building constantly.
It could be that, yeah. It could be that. It could just gradually build without,
or just
without
like timed, like every so often you reload.
Maybe. Based on some other interviews, because they said that it's not going to be like people suggested. It sounds like you have to press the button a lot, because that's how it works in Final Fantasy VIII. Every time you swing, you time the button press, and that's how you fire the shot.
I doubt it'll be like that in 14.
He said, and his quote was, let me see if I have it. His quote was, "If we do it like that, I think controller players will get tendinitis." So
and you'd have to do it literally every attack.
Well, every attack that you have ammo. Let me see if... Let's see, yeah. If we make the player pull the trigger every time, the controller players will get tendinitis. We plan to show it graphically with actions that'll let you feel like you're experiencing it. We always emphasize a different game experience based on each job's concept, so Gunbreaker will release with its own job system, basically meaning a job gauge. It sounds to me like you turn on your swings start using ammo. Like, it's almost like a stance where you use ammo versus a stance where you don't use ammo. Because if you're not pressing it every time, or you're not pressing it right after the fact, then clearly there's something else in reference there. Because otherwise, that's gonna be just as busy as Dark Knight is. So
yeah.
I just want to know how the ammo works. Is it like Machinist? Is it?
I don't think it's a bad thing if it's as busy as Dark Knight is. I mean, that's its own style, right? Some people love it. Some people hate it. It's not for everyone. That's fine.
Well, if they're adjusting Dark Knight because the complaint is too many dark arts.
Is that why they're adjusting it, or are they adjusting it because of the combat system and losing?
Well, I mean, they're doing that too, but they've acknowledged that people say there's too much dark arts,
and they wanna fix that.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, they're probably not going to do that with Gunbreaker. So who knows how it ends up?
Who knows? You know, we said that after they decided to give Monk utility, that they would never make a job without raid DPS contribution again, and then they made Samurai.
I don't know. Maybe this is like the trial by fire that all of us must go through before we reach our utility, haven or something. I don't know, man. I don't know what this is, but yeah.
I like when people like Samurai has slashing debuff. I was like,
come on. Come on, man.
You mean for the warrior in your group that already has to go through that combo anyway?
That puts it up on the second GCD way faster?
Yeah. That was something that I noticed. With Gunbreaker, they specifically mentioned it would do slashing damage, and my first response was, fuck. Because it probably means they're keeping the damage downs, which I'm not a personal big fan of.
Neither am I. I didn't even think of that as confirmation that they're keeping it.
I mean, it's not, but I heard it and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, but why would they say it? If I see where your head's at, though.
Yeah.
Why would they state it's slashing damage if that wasn't still going to be a thing?
Maybe they're changing it so that all the jobs buff themselves with plus slashing damage, plus piercing, plus blunt, instead of giving it to everyone else.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah, piercing, something's got to be done with piercing. That's another conversation, though.
I mean, it's the same conversation, but it's
the same conversation.
It's where people like, bards won't play without dragoons kind of situation,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I say it gets put to roll actions. That's my.
That was we talked about that like a couple months ago on the show. I think around the time first FanFest came around.
Has there been
making it a roll action? Yeah.
Sorry, has there been any? That's probably coming in May, but there hasn't been any updates on the roll action system yet, or where they're thinking about going with it.
That's probably going to get lumped into
May.
May.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would expect about that.
I would expect anything involving the combat system to wait for May. You may hear sprinkles of it in like live letters. They did that before. They've like given us like a minor sprinkle and been like, "Hey, we're showing you this, but please wait till May." You won't know anything unless you wait till May.
That'll be the big one for me, man. I want to see where the combat's going. I want to see how much is changing, if the game's going to feel the same way, play the same way come 5.0.
There's a lot of questions around that point. And Gunbreaker, too. One of the big reasons why they cited Gunbreaker was a tank, actually, in one of those interviews, is because of its balance compared to melee DPS in particular. There's 4 melee DPS, 3 tanks.
Okay.
So they want 4 tanks, which is weird to me because it makes it sound like, they didn't really give a shit about releasing 2 DPS in the last expansion. That had nothing to do with this decision. It was just like, well, there's 4 melees, so, I guess we should do another tank.
That's weird. Yeah, so I guess they just want to keep the amount of melee to ranged in general the same, right? But they're still more ranged.
There's 5 ranged, 3 magic, 2 physical, which then makes people wonder, does
Plus
that
3
mean
healers.
And then there's 3 healers. So then you wonder, are they comparing the 3 healers to Summoner, Red Mage, Black Mage with the same thought process? Are they comparing it to all range? Do they really care that much about that balance? Because people are waiting to see if, the other job is Dancer, Geomancer, whatever. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. And if it's a healer, because now we have a tank, everyone presumes other one's a healer. And I remember in Stormblood going, well, obviously Samurai has to be a tank then because they already did a DPS. And I remember what happened there. But so I don't feel confident about making any speculation or predictions. I can say what I would like to see and nothing more. I literally don't feel confident making a single prediction.
What would you like to see?
I want to see
arithmetician.
That's a good one, Sly.
Relax.
Arithmetician.
Dude, I just did math today. Only one person failed. I think we could handle it.
Yeah.
I want to see Geomancer as much as I want to see Dancer.
Okay, what weapon you want a Geomancer to use?
Geomancer uses a bell. Ring that shit.
I'll ask you again. What weapon you want to see a Geomancer use in Final Fantasy 14?
A bell.
Oh, fuck's
It's gonna
sake.
be, dude. It's gonna do blunt damage, and every time you hit it, it's gonna go bing.
You're a bell guy? Out of all the things that you could use for a weapon, you want them to use a bell?
That's what they're known for.
Oh, come and get it.
And they already use them in the dungeon.
Oh,
You seen those big motherfuckers with those bells and Swallow's Compass?
It's raining. It's rain weather buff. Everyone come get your crit. Ding, ding. Come on, man.
Listen, our summoners hit shit with a book. What are you complaining about?
The book is whack too. All these different kind of weapons in this fantasy world, and not one person uses a hammer yet. Not one person uses like a bow staff yet. Nunchucks, nothing.
You want our Geomancers to use nunchucks?
No, I want them to use giant great hammers.
That's not what they're known for.
Happy. You can have a hammer with a bell on.
What if they're healers? You want them to have a big ass hammer as a healer?
Yes.
Come here, I'll fix that for you. Don't worry, you won't feel a thing.
Why? Why does the healers have to have these weak-looking weapons, man? What do we got?
To the franchise.
Staffs and books.
Oh my god! You mean a white mage uses a staff? Gandalf. No one gives a shit about staves anymore.
No,
See
the
that
staff
sword
is
you got
actually
with him?
pretty metal, but the other two are not. It'd be cool if we had a hammer. I'm just saying. I think it'd be cool. Not a bell.
It's gonna be a bell. If it's anything, they already use bells in the game.
I know they do. And it's dumb.
This is what we call a franchise's history.
Hey, man, there's always a path to redemption for any franchise, any person. I would like to think anybody can come back. Listen, if there's been 20 years of Bell Dark Ages for the Geomancers, I'm sorry. You know what tactics they use, like great axes.
What if they had a hammer with a bell attached to it?
That's what I said. That's even okay. If it's like a big totem pole looking hammer with a bell on the end, that's progress. It's not just a come and get your raid buffs.
You know what? Happy. I'll stop memeing a little bit. I'm not gonna give it up completely, but how about Oracle?
Nah.
What weapon would they use?
I don't know what else to say. Nah.
No. You got to think in terms of weapons. The classes are tied to weapon types in this game. So what would an Oracle use?
Nah.
Okay, what would a dancer use?
Chakram.
Chakram, like a big circular hula hoop looking bladed. They can.
I mean, it could be the big one. It could be the smaller ones that are known that are like boomerangs.
They could throw them.
I mean, obviously, any 11 player starts to think dagger, but we're not going there. So I need an alternate. Right. Whip, I would probably save for Beastmaster because Bard already has bow. Otherwise, I'd give Beastmaster bow. They're known for using axes in 11, so they have one-handed axes is the other possibility there. So depends, because Beastmasters are known for axes and whips, and then dancers have used whips and chakrams and daggers. So like all of those are viable except for the ones that are taken, pretty much.
You ever see like Japanese dance art form where they have the giant flags? They almost look like staffs, but they got giant flags on them. You think that would be cool, like a banner? And they could like do like staff attacks with this banner and then dance around. And
I think having the actual banner would be a little weird, but because now when you say that, I'm starting to think of like you know how you see like I don't know what they are, like the string things people use when they're dancing that like follow. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, but more like sturdy looking, right?
Ribbons, but I thought they had a different name. They're called color guards.
Streamers, the color guards and bands.
Any of those, yeah. Batons. So any of those.
Yeah,
I don't know. It could be. Again, I can't. That's why I can't speculate. I can't say yes or no.
I didn't know you were.
Except for hammers, that's not happening. But anyway, you gotta wait for like some other ambiguous shit when you want hammers.
You know what's cool? So I thought that I thought we were gonna get a Gunblade class, but I thought it would look like the AF would look like Magitech Knight oriented, like Gaius or like Regulus.
No, it's gotta go like full weeb, man. You should know this game by now.
Okay,
always go full weeb.
I was wrong about that, but this gives me hope for a hammer class because maybe they make a Magitech Knight in the future that is like Nero's fighting style, maybe with a giant hammer and a Magitech Knight armor, and that would be cool. So
Another tank?
Yeah, another tank. The next one.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll hold out for that. All
right. I mean, I want a hammer, just not on Geomancer. Just not on Geomancer. That's it. Dude, my goldsmither has a hammer. What are you complaining about?
I don't craft. That's what I'm complaining about.
Well, go hit something with a hammer. Go try to beat something up with a hammer. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, the reason why we get to have this discussion is, I guess, kind of the point I was about to make, is there literally was no hint at all for whatever the other job is going to be.
I thought that was odd.
Now, the other question. Other job or other jobs?
So
can't be jobs.
Here's the thing.
They would have hinted one at this one.
So here's the thing. At Heaven's Word, they teased Machinist for the final Fan Fest, and then they showed Astro and didn't do anything else. And then the CEO came out with a gun and said, "You better show him, bitch." And then they showed us Machinist. What's different about this one is at the end of the opening keynote, he said, "What is the other job?" Like, he was like, things to look forward to Tokyo. And he legit said, "What is the other job?" And I don't think Koji's going to slip up and make it, singular when it should be plural.
Well.
So.
Yeah. Another thing, like, another side note, no Matsuda this fan fest. What do you think?
What do you mean?
No Matsuda. He wasn't there.
He didn't want to fucking be there. he didn't want to fucking be there. It is possible there's no plural in Japanese, but Koji knows the truth. So
I think we would have got something teased if we were going to get two jobs.
Well, here's the thing, and again, I keep pulling from interviews. I think this is the Game Watch one again. Yeah, we didn't get a single hit for the second job. Why is that? He says, "I don't know why you think there'll be a hint every time. My t-shirts just end up being completely coincidental. There's nothing to do with it." And he says, "We didn't get a single hint for the second job is the question." And he just said, "You need time to think about what job will be." I mean, I can understand there's no plural, but the fact that the singular is the only thing that comes up, like, I feel like there must be some way to communicate if there was, like, more than one that was being expected. They just keep speaking in singular, and I never think we're going to see 3 jobs in an expansion launch outside of a limited job.
But the slide says multiple jobs.
Yeah, 2 is multiple. It said the same thing in Stormblood. The slide said the exact same thing in Stormblood.
2 is multiple.
And we got 2. There's no basis there.
Shit. I really hate this technicality bullshit. 2 is multiple.
They didn't say a couple of new jobs, which is what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, that would have been more, direct.
At least they didn't say several. When people say several and they really mean 3, that pisses me off. Let's just be real. Several sounds like 7. Now, I'm not saying it should be 7, but it should be more than 3. When people say several and they mean 3, I'm like, what are you trying to compensate for, dude? Don't say, Slyh, where'd you go? Okay, you're back.
I thought he was gone.
No.
He's rolling out of his chair. Anyway, at least they didn't bamboozle us that hard. Like, several new jobs, and then we get 2 or something. That would have been bad.
And I'm not counting limiteds in these. I'm not including Blue Mage for Stormblood got 3. I like Blue Mage, but I'm not going down that route. Okay.
No.
That's a possibility. Holy shit. I completely forgot about that. We could get another limited job.
Yeah, Beastmaster in 5.5.
Beastmaster. But with axes, not whips.
No.
Either or. I'll take either or.
Okay.
They're pretty well known for both. The whips make it so they can let their pet be in the front while they whip them from the back.
Phrasing.
It's only phrasing if you want it to be, Slyh. Nope, that's it. Oh my god, and if Beastmaster has a whip, then the name of their reach level 50 achievement is now watch me whip. There you go. I blame Cinna for that in the chat.
No, I blame you. I blame you for half the achievements that Koji does because you just.
What do you mean blame me? I'm not the one who came up with the year of the cock. I didn't suggest any of that. Don't blame me. Yeah, that is 100% proof he is responsible for everything. I keep asking people if they want to pet my cock, and I don't know why everyone's giving me weird looks.
Okay,
I had
you're
nothing to
saying
do with that.
You're saying that, and then Final Fantasy going to get whips and bells. This is starting to get weird.
Well, I mean, Rihanna's got that song about all this shit.
We
so
have an
just work it all
opportunity
in.
here. The WoW refugees are coming in. We got Twitch Prime, free starter editions of Final Fantasy 14.
I'm giving them something to be excited about.
Y'all want to greet these people with some whips, some bells, and the year of the...
No, the year of the cock was years ago. We've moved on.
Year of the cock is years ago. They're not going to get that. No.
Okay.
They're not going to get the cock. They missed it years ago.
Good.
All right.
Hopefully they missed the bells and the whips too.
Mm.
They're going to get those. I can see that coming. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, they get the hog instead, which honestly isn't much better. that was what just passed. The hog. Yeah, and I don't get the year of the hog. That's another euphemism. Anyway. So yeah, we just didn't get anything. Again, that's why we just sit here and go, well, one of those things. I think it's more likely to be Dancer. I think Geomancer makes more sense. And I hate when people say, oh, they're explained to just be Conjurers or Astros. Have you been to Swallow's Compass? That shit ain't nothing like Conjurer or Astro. That's real Geomancy right there. They have the same belief in nature.
Eastern, but it's Eastern, though.
Yeah?
So we are going to a new place. Why would they send it? Like, I can understand if one, they released this as a job within Stormblood. Like, because we are already centered in the East. But we're going to somewhere else, possibly another star. Why would they make an Eastern-centric job in another land?
Because people want it. I mean, Dancer is, people presume, is Thavnair. I'm pretty sure there's an NPC somewhere in the game that mentions Thavnair has in its arsenal a troop of battle dancers. I'm fairly sure that's mentioned somewhere in an NPC dialogue in Stormblood. And that's the thing, you know, they've shown us so few areas, we don't know if Thavnair is on, you know, we're going to Thavnair, if Thavnair is involved at all, or... And if we are, if they said tomorrow, yeah, Thavnair is one of the places we're going to, be like, well, Dancer is obvious then, right?
Yeah.
Then the fact they won't tell us, making me think more. That's it. I'm just saying, man. I'm excited regardless of the result.
Yeah, if it's either Dancer or Geo, it'll be cool. I think it'll be Dancer as well. I hope it's a melee. I hope it's a melee-oriented healer. Whatever it is. And I think Geo or Dancer could work in that regard. I don't think they have to work in that regard, but either one could work in that way. I think that'd be a very unique spin on the game. All our healers right now do DPS with spells from a range, so it'd be nice to mix that up and have a healer that did melee combos. So I'm just most excited for that.
I'm just curious, because a healer needs to not have to rely on that. They need to be able to heal on the go. So I question the full melee-ishness of a job.
Well, they could just build up a resource that you could use for like an instant cast heal or a special property heal, and then you could have heals on the go, of course.
I don't want, yeah, and I agree with Hammer. I don't want some other fuckface dropping AoEs on me in melee. I'm already trying to spread out with 4 people. I'm trying to fit one more in there. Hell no.
So I had a crazy theory leading up to seeing it's ruined now, but I had a crazy theory leading up to Gunbreaker and what they showed with it, that I thought Gunbreaker was going to be like a dedicated off tank that when it wasn't tanking dipped into range and had high potency ranged combos or high potency ranged attacks, but then when it was tanking had to use melee combos. That's how I thought it was going to work. So it would be an extra person in range, and then you have an extra healer that could play in range from a Dancer or a Geo or something, or play in melee, I mean. So sort of a little bit of reversal.
You know how bad that would piss the other tanks off, though?
Why? Why would it piss them off? I think I don't trust people enough with that. Because when you said other off tank, I mean, there is mention here that they think they want to design 2 of the tanks to be main tanks and 2 of the tanks to be off tanks.
They said that?
Yeah, they did say that. They didn't say which ones for which, but right now Paladin is the premier off tank, Warrior is the premier main tank, and Dark Knight.
I hope they change that too.
Dude, just because Warrior's dick is huge when it's main tanking. It's because Paladin's enmity is also garbage if it pulls.
They should fix that. Just from the aesthetic alone and like the identity alone, Paladin should be the premier main tank. But it's been completely...
Dude, they're the premier protector because they protect... Dude, they'll be like, oh, tank swap, here's cover.
Yeah, they do. That's cool. But they should be in there just blocking with their shield and stuff, I feel like. And a lot of people do swap it in for shield swipes and everything, but I feel like it should be the pulling tank, man. I know it's not. I know why it's not from a gameplay perspective, but I think it should be.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's why I wonder what they're defining as main tank or off tank. Because it may not be how we define it. They could envision Paladin, because they say Paladin is the go-to protector tank, like big tank. Like Paladin is the super tank to what healer is as they consider the super healer. You know, which is ironic because it's not. But
which healer were you talking about?
White Mage.
Did you say White Mage? Yeah. Okay.
Hey, those buffs were pretty sweet. I love those buffs though. So I still just play White Mage. But yeah, I mean, we just gotta wait. I'm excited.
I am too. Yeah, I hope it gets a melee, despite how much it might piss people off if people don't do it right. I think it'd be nice.
Yeah. So then we get a bunch of refreshers on some stuff. Trusts, they show off the 3 scions from the trailer, other than Minfilia, as potential trust NPC. And this is where things started getting a little fucky here, going back to something we were talking about earlier. Because every time he talks about Y'shtola, he's like, well, Thancred's a gunbreaker. Urianger J's an Astro. And it looks like Y'shtola is a black mage. I think
Y'shtola's a murmur.
It doesn't sound like he's trying to cover up what job she actually is. It sounds like he wants people to wonder. I think he knows that the way they did the trailer is fucking with people's heads. So I think he's just doing it because of that. I don't think it necessarily
he's building on that.
Yeah, I think he's literally just fucking with people's heads. He's not like trying to tease the other job or anything like that. He's literally just like, well, everyone's going to be wondering why they said Matoya, so why don't we just double down on that?
They did the same teasing logic with the race and how they displayed that.
Yeah. So, trust system, they go into a reminder that there's going to be 9 dungeons, which is still weird, and I don't know why we're getting an extra one. Why do you guys think we're getting an extra dungeon at launch?
I don't think we're losing anything.
No. Why are we getting an extra one?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're getting an extra one, but the concern is that in place, like, with this extra one in place, it's going to replace something else content.
You don't think it's going to replace like the trial at the end of the story, basically? You don't think it's going to do that?
No.
I think it could be an 8-player dungeon that replaces the trial at the end. That's the thing that I've like Praetorium-ish.
Could be that, or is there a chance maybe it could be a solo dungeon?
I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of resource, because then it'd be the only solo dungeon. Like there's solo instances, which we get all the time, but a solo dungeon, I don't know. That's a lot of resources to spend on a whole nother dungeon for one person.
It'd be pretty crazy.
They are going the solo route though, in a lot of senses right now. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that they would do it solo.
And imagine like how traumatic that would be, you know, your first time ever in Final Fantasy XIV. Shit hits the fan and you're truly alone. And you got to fight your first dungeon alone.
Remember, New Game Plus, the cover. This is the first time you have a singular cover with only one person. Yeah. Like they are like really pushing the alone shit.
Yeah.
Like it's not far-fetched.
Yeah, I mean, some people in the chat are suggesting it could be a dungeon where you're forced to use trusts, something to teach you how the trust system works in particular.
That could be it too.
Because, you know, apparently if you don't have squadrons, I mean, that does make sense. It's just, it's just, there's no certainty. So that's why we're asking this, because there is no certainty.
Yeah, I would guess there's some sort of storyline reason they're putting that in, and it's like a solo trial. I wouldn't even think that it has to do with trust. That's just what I would guess. But
okay. So with that, what did we move on to? They talked about the new beast tribe, the Pixies. Tricky little bitches.
Why, dude?
Why not? It's high fantasy.
It's whack.
I'm hyped for this shit.
No, dude.
Because you know real pixies. You know that real pixies are fucking assholes, right? And it looks like they're going the fucking asshole route with pixies.
Yeah, with their cotton candy and bubblegum land.
Oh no! Oh.
It's all neon pink and blue and. Come on, man.
Pixies.
What do you have against pixies?
Pixies are fucking assholes in like actual
in actual real life.
Well, let's not use the word real life in pixies, please. But you know what I.
I was looking through all the trailers, And there is nothing you can tell me that is going to make a pixie sound cool. Like, compared to everything
You
else.
seen that fucking healing laser that Eos uses? That's cool as shit.
I don't care if they trick you. I don't care if they got some cool tech. It looks like Bubblegum Land, man. That's the one thing that I was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Here's the thing. Titania as a primal, when it was announced, I paused for a second. I'm like, and then I really thought about it. In that split second, I'm like, you know what? This fucking makes sense. The only thing that's missing is Oberon.
Is who?
And that's a Oberon. Because Titania in actual Celtic lore is the queen of the pixies. Oberon is the king. So there may be a possibility that in a dungeon, in a Beast Tribe specific dungeon, that we may run into Oberon, or in a future trial, we may run into Oberon.
Okay, I like this perspective, because when I saw Tatiana, all I thought, like you thought all that, all I thought was, who's that Pokemon? It's Butterfree! And I was like, okay, like, sick.
Dude, you need to look up some stories about pixies and like in mythology, because they're fucking assholes. Those things.
They are.
They are not cutesy little funsters.
Well, they are in Final Fantasy. They look like it anyway.
Tricksters here.
Yeah.
Though that's the whole point. They look non-menacing, but they're assholes big time.
They are complete assholes.
Oh, it'd be cool if that non-menacing look was a front and one transformed to its true self or something, and it's like some demonic looking, satyr or something, and they just pose as the little pixies. That would actually be a cool spin. I just don't like how they look. Like, you can make pixies cool. Like in Game of Thrones, the Children of the Forest, they're pretty much pixies, but they look badass. And they're slinging giant fireballs and stuff, and they're cool. But then you look at a Final Fantasy 14 pixie, and it's like, come on, man. Like, I don't know, just listen.
I'm hyped to see where they go with this. I'm really fucking hyped to see where they go with this.
I'm gonna trick you.
Yeah, they're not pixies in Game of Thrones, just so you know.
They're not?
No.
Aren't they pretty much like little like fairy, like pixie magical type people? What are they?
Dryads. See, I'm into heavy fantasy, so like.
Mm-hmm.
When I think Dryad, I think Warcraft 3 got 4 legs, like centaur-looking thing that throws harpoons that poison and slow you. That's a Dryad.
That's a centaur. I mean, they are Dryads too, but that's a centaur. But
I mean, all right.
You gotta watch some high fantasy shit, man. You gotta bone up on
some high fantasy.
Bone up on, especially because the third beast tribe they haven't shown us are the dwarves. So,
what are you talking about?
They told us at NA and EU that there's dwarves. At NA, they revealed the new Mo and said we have pixies and dwarves as well. And at EU, they showed us the pixies and said we have dwarves.
Oh man, I thought that was a joke.
No.
When you saw the pixies, why would he joke about that on stage?
I don't know. We're getting dwarves.
Dwarves.
We're getting dwarves.
But you said it's a beast race?
Hey, listen, they're not us, so.
What kind of racist shit is that? You're calling the dwarves a beast tribe.
They called it a beast tribe.
You got like a Garlean flag back there? I'm not seeing it or something?
Lolly ho, motherfucker. Lolly ho.
Gosh.
And dwarves actually are pretty. Final Fantasy 1, the dwarves are pretty integral to the plot. But they're not the Warrior of Light. Dwarves are the male Vieira option. There you go. There, you get what you want, right?
What do you think about male Vieira?
Oh, we're gonna get to that real soon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's not jump the gun.
Yeah. I do want to say that Soken's killing it on the music for those areas, though. The two areas, the Raktika Greatwood and what was Ilmeg? Shut up, Meg. I'm gonna make that joke so often about Ilmeg. So often. He's killing it.
I clicked off Ilmeg pretty quick, but the forest, that soundtrack was lit. And it just got better. I'm in there. It's the kind of music you start moving up and down a little bit. You start moving your arms a little bit. Okay, you're going through the forest, and then it just and shit. You get the vocals that chime in, and it just gets better, man. It's good.
Dude, Soken's going down like he's not the next to Amatsu. He's just Soken. And he's just going to be the next big, like, Final Fantasy name people go out to, like, concerts and travel and shit to see.
Yep.
And I love it.
doubt.
That's because that shit is dope in the best of ways.
Yep.
I will say this about Ilmeg though. Ilmeg kind of reminded me a little bit of the Hinterlands.
Yeah.
That's a Hinterlands look. The Raktika Greatwood Forlands. It kind of looks a little samey to me. A little.
See, I mean, other than it being forest, and open field, I got like a mix of Azim Steppe in the Hinterlands from Ilmeg, from the Raktika Greatwood. It felt more Evolution to me, in a sense. You know, it's the woods are a little more chaotic, whereas the eastern side of the Dravanian Forelands are like, they're pretty standard. Like, you walk in and you're like, excuse me, okay, trees.
I don't think it's going to feel the same at all once we get in there. I think it's going to be massively tall and just feel like this giant overarching forest rather than like the Dravanian Forelands, which is just like a normie set of trees, you know. It was like nothing that
was also connected to kind of like a barren wasteland area over by the NAF.
Yeah, I envisioned this, and it kind of looked like that when the guy was flying around. It looked very large, like very tall. I think I think the trees are gonna swallow the entire zone. That's how I envision it. Like, once you get in, you can't see the sky. It's just trees. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, I really like what they're doing with these. And especially after the fringes and the peaks and the locks, like, I'd say like 2/3 of those zones, like, they have their moments, but like across all three, like maybe 2/3 of them are super samey. Like, as soon as you leave the fringes on the west side, it's pretty much just the same thing for like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
the fringes and the peaks, right?
Yeah, I wasn't super into fringes and the peaks personally.
Me either.
I was really into the Ruby Sea and Yenja, and Azim Steppe is gonna be one. I think it's because I'm a big fan of 10 and the Calmlands. You know, it's a lot of nostalgia there for me, and I kind of get that with a few things, even Hydatos, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I'm getting a very Calmlands-esque feel from how open it is, and a very Azim Steppe feel from how open it is. So I'm into that. I like seeing a wide expanse, especially in a game like 14 where everything's kind of broken down. Even if some of it's off in the distance and you don't really get to go there, I much prefer that grand. It just gives me a grand scale that's still kind of within, like, how do I describe it? That's still within reach, I suppose. I don't know how to describe it other than that. Then we have the reveal of Viera, which we knew was coming, so we don't have to build it up and hype it up, whatever. It's common knowledge, you know, it has been common knowledge.
Yeah.
Did this feel a little bit Destiny's Child to you?
No.
Because it kind of did. It did to me. I mean, if you, look at the artwork first, and then the video. It kind of felt a little bit Destiny's Child-ish.
I just didn't like how they were waving at me and winking at me and giggling at me in the trailer, dude.
Wow. Did you feel threatened?
I was just like, why are you coming at me like that? Yeah, I did feel a little threatened. I felt attacked. Like people were like, oh, so what? Just imagine, okay? I watched the extended trailer. We see Gunbreaker. I'm going nuts. We see the forest area. I'm happy. Watch the Viera. Watch the Viera. Watch the Viera. I'm sitting there like, hi. And I'm just like, come on, man. Really? We're going there? Yeah, okay. I got it. Sure. Hi. No males. Just females. For people listening, we haven't said it yet. Nothing but female Viera in the art shown so far, in the trailer shown so far, and everything shown so far. Just female Viera. And who said it, Happy? The males, only like 1 out of 5 Viera that are born are males.
That's still the right math. It's 2 out of 10 that they give you.
2 out of 10.
Yeah, so it's the same math, but broken down.
Okay.
But we did see a boy in one of the artwork, but it was also old concept art.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a young boy. It was a prepubescent boy. Like, like almost indistinguishable between gender. So I'm going to give you a little rundown on a few things, Fahros. Since you brought it all up, I'm going to bring it up. And it means Ethis will not ask these things on air, Zivia, because he knows that I know them. So, as you have stated, 2 out of every 10 Viera are born male. The society is completely matriarchal. The men do not live in the villages, and they have no positions of power in their politics. They are, when they turn 13, their gender becomes distinguishable between the two. Until the age of 13, men and women, or male and female, are indistinguishable. And at the age of 13, when a male Viera comes back to the village to mate, he also looks for young boys who have come of age to teach them how to live on their own out in the wild. And once they're there, that's it. They have to survive, cook, craft, everything for themselves. They don't get shit help from anybody. None of the other males, none of the females. They're on their fucking own. And they only come back to mate every 3 to 5 summers and to find the kids. And other than that, they're charged with protecting the forest outside of the villages, while the women protect them from within the villages. Now, you wouldn't want to know something else?
Yeah.
The Mikote basically have the exact same matriarchal society, and I think it's I don't remember if it's Keeper of the Moon or Starseekers, and yet we have male Mikote running all over the place.
Yeah. So is it the same thing where the male Mikote are
Keepers,
only born like 2 out of 10?
Pretty much, it's almost identical situation-wise.
So they're supposed to be way more rare than they are running around.
Yeah, and like Duskwhite Elizons are supposed to be locked away and completely kept off from society, and yet I think there's only one we interact with in one of the job quests, and that's it.
So you're telling me you think we're going to be able to play Bunny Boys?
We will 100% be able to play Bunny Boys.
100%?
100%.
What do you know?
I know everything Yoshi P's told us.
Isn't he a bit of a prankster, though? Can he really be trusted?
Let me give you this.
Wow. The lack of faith.
No. I trust in Yoshi P. I'm just asking Happy, can we really hinge on every word that he has said in the past? But I trust in Yoshi P.
The question everyone got the most excited for at yesterday's press Q&A was male Vieras. Since it's you, Yoshida, we think there will be male Vieras. But in Final Fantasy XII, male Vieras are extremely rare and never appear. How are you going to introduce them into 14? He goes, who knows? I'm a contrarian. So when you say Yoshida would definitely do this, it makes me not want to answer. Actually, in Return to Evil East's story that concluded, there's a ton of lore about Vieras. We could have coordinated with Matsuno to include most of the hints there. So please check that. Matsuno wrote some wonderful text. You know all the things I just read for you? The hints that he left in the game.
But those hints imply that there aren't a lot of them around.
There's just as many male Makotes, and that has no relevance to whether or not we can play them.
Right. But
and also, back in 1.0, Highlanders could only be male. And they had to make it so that you could be a female Highlander in 2.0 because they don't exist.
But all I'm saying is that somebody asked Yoshi P, and he said there are hints to the answer.
He also said, please wait for Tokyo. He did also say that. He's like, are you going to say anything, or do we have to wait for Tokyo? He's like, you're right, there is one more fan fest. Next question.
So you think it's 100% chance Bunny Boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
As much as the Wandering Dramaturge... Okay, so there's more than one reason for this also. Wandering Dramaturge does go on to say he's never seen one, he doesn't know anyone who's seen one, and if you go there expecting to see one, you're either going to be disappointed or dead. One of the two.
Yeah.
Implying that they'd kill you if you found them anyway. So, when 1.0 was released, Rogadins were male only. Mikotes were female only, because Final Fantasy XI did it that way.
Right.
And Highlanders were male only. Their first directive was to fix that.
Yeah, I get it. It's just disappointing. But I get it.
I think they're making a big deal out of it because there's literally never been a male Viera. We know they exist. In the Evolution games, we know they exist. I know, Sly. And I was waiting until we were done with this. And we just never see them. And so it's a pretty big deal to have male Viera. Oh, and also, Tate's got a great quote. I love quoting this so much because it's so accurate to the lore argument that why we can't have them. And let's see. Let me get the exact one. I thought I made it a quote in my actual chat because I gotta actually like scroll back to find this. Let's see. No. Where is it? Let's see. No? Where is it? I gotta scroll back far. Somebody probably posted it in the chat. I feel like I made a command for this, and now I can't find it. Oh my god, yeah, no, never mind. Yeah. After the Final Fantasy 15 collaboration was released, Tate tweeted, "Drives my car past Rathalos to get to the new NieR raid." Man, those male Vieira are so lore unfriendly.
That's good.
It's like
I hope he was driving the car on a Lalafell too, and they're just reaching the pedals no problem.
Oh, that's what my life is gonna be like. Yeah. So yeah, I'm 100% confident, because here's the thing: they don't do another male-only race because there's not really a good option for that, because a lot of the other races have males and females, and there's no difference. Like people have suggested the Ronso, the what?
The Bonga.
Those aren't happening.
Bonga.
Also, not an issue. Again, they're not a male-only race.
There's female Bonga?
There sure are.
Oh, we haven't seen any, right?
I think we've seen them in the Final Fantasy games. But anyway, another thing. We've seen them. The Ronso are male and female. They live exactly the same. They have the same rules, same laws. There's no like societal differences that would say we could play one or not the other.
Yeah.
Hornless.
There you go. And there's just no good options for a male only. So that would be the only other option. And then you have the problem of people wanting a female version of that and a male version of Vieira. It's male Vieira. Just accept it. It's happening.
No, I do accept it. I think you're probably right. I think Bonga could work, because in Final Fantasy 14 we've only seen the male Bonga at least.
No, we've seen a female.
I don't remember one.
I'll be honest with you, they look pretty similar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, one of the Bonga in that troop is female. One of the three other than Rynoet. Rynoet is female.
Oh, yep. Snap. Sorry.
It's like female goblins. There's female goblins. We can't tell the difference.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Rynoet, dude. I didn't mean it.
And the Seeker, hideous. And that I don't want to imagine half our armor sets fitting on a Seek. That shit is hideous.
What's a Seek?
The fat dudes. The fat lizard-looking dudes. They're in the Royal City of Ravenasser. They're the ones with all the chocobos, where the red chocobo comes and summons the meteors and shit. They're fat pigmen. There you go. Male and female kobolds. Theirs are barely distinguishable. There's literally, it's male Vieira.
Yeah.
And I want everyone here to accept it. It's male Vieira.
Unfortunately, it seems that way.
There you go. Okay. With that then, as Sly wanted to make sure, because he had no trust in me. Sly, you had no trust. Sly, did you have trust?
Just trying to make sure we stick to it. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make sure we stick to it.
Do we have trust? I mean, to be fair, I did start the show without the Steel Series 1, so that's fine. I'm going to do them both now. So you got me on that. There we go. So anyway, we're about the halfway point of the show, so we want to stop and talk about our sponsors real quick. One of them we've been doing at the start of the show, but Sly, if his lack of faith, has correctly pointed out that I did not mention it at the start of the show, as much as I was prepared to do the Patreon one. Steel Series sponsors this show, and as such, we have a giveaway every month on the YouTube side of things. Just go into the description, click that link, enter. As long as you meet all the conditions, you're good to go. They've been sponsoring my stream. They've been sponsoring the channel with all sorts of different gaming peripherals, mouse, headsets, keyboards, everything that I use and you could be using. There's also a discount code for Mr. Happy 10 with a link if you want to save 10% outside of the entry for the free shit, which you should be entering for free shit anyway, because why not? Fahros, you look like you're ready to PogChamp, and I haven't started reading names yet.
I'm just thinking about Happy 10, man. And Courtney's looking for a new keyboard. We might get us one. You got any recommendations?
Apex M750 mechanical keyboard.
And do they have one that? So she's not used to mechanical keyboards. They have like a.
They have ones that aren't as clickety clack clack clackety click.
Yeah,
There's definitely the biggest ones. Because you don't need a high-end keyboard if it's like non-mechanical. Like you can usually get some pretty decent ones that are non-mechanical for that. But it's really just for the sensation of the clickety clack clack clackety clicking.
Cool.
All right. We also have our Patreon sponsors. Since I didn't do Steel Series at the start, we'll do both of them now. Fahros, I don't like you licking your lips when I say that.
This is my favorite part of the show, man.
I know it is. I'm well aware that it's your favorite part of the show. I don't need to be reminded at all, and I'm sure it's everyone else's favorite part of the show too.
This is hype, man. You gotta enjoy this.
Yeah, no, I know. I know.
Look at his face.
I know. I'm well aware. I need a drink of this beer right now.
I'm pouring one too.
There you go. There you go. We're gonna need it. We want to thank our sponsors over on Patreon who have been supporting the channel through hashtag demonetize. We like to shout them out every week, always starting with our patrons of light. We have, of course, up first, we have Khuja Cross from Jenova. They can't see you doing the thumbs up anymore, so you might as well stop it.
I did. I was right on cue.
Just letting you know. Just letting you know. We have Khuja Cross from Jenova, who has provided this screenshot here, going with the widescreen images with the little black bars at the top and the bottom, looking like they are still enjoying Blue Mage as we speak. And then we also have Kurenai Oni, who, while it's never too late to get a screenshot with Bahamut. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Whether or not it's in turn 13 or UCOB, it's always
golden.
Yeah, well, he's golden there for just like a brief second, and then when he leaves Mega Flare, he's like back to norm. You know, that's our first real appearance of Golden Bahamut right there. Huh. But thank you to our patrons of light for their incredible support over the last year or so. And we also have our list of sponsors. Yeah, we have our standard State of the Realm sponsors. I'm just going to cover my camera so I don't have to see this the whole time. All right, we have our standard State of the Realm sponsors. We have Emma, NieR Vizsla, the Fist of Rhalgr, Krista Uzuki, Craze the Meter from Midgard, Raijin Ventinus from Cactar, Carol, Ray, Senshi, Shadowlink from Tonberry, Dom, Sukawake from Jenova, Limilla Nelhah, Midgard Summer, Serren, the Fennel Family, Janhyua Yotsuyu, Kifca and the Great Eagles on Exodus, Aoshi from Kujata, Skia Symphonia from Ragnarok, Rylanator Westaus The Purple Warrior, Eadric, Redsteele on Exodus, Lexxie Valentine, Mantaru the Rivivus FC from Zodiark, Sour Cream and Chives from Jenova, Rynoet Chikara, Goetia Valefar of Siren, Phoenix Down FC on Goblin, and Serren from Zodiark. We also have our elite State of the Realm sponsors. We have Vapatiama from Diablo, Shadow Ari of Brynhildr, Zeravire of Coerl, Alchemy, Shinka, Casual Heroes FC on Midgard Armor, Tatachi Taka on Hyperion, Kanazuki from Jenova, Ustarla on Coerl, Sathal, Sarah Frost from Behemoth, Holy Tabasco, Crass015, Serenity FC on Ultras, Kakazuma, Ignis Fairgard from Excalibur, Blessed of Fanfit, Knockorders from Excalibur, Corvus Moonscar, Private Maki, Nanakir, Sami, Rudy Rudiger, Killa Hackman, Roll Jr., and Kiltastic Jones. Thank you to our sponsors. I can see you again.
Good job, man.
Why'd you put the hood on?
I did one of these.
It's just because it's 8 Mile? All right.
No, but that's a good reference. That's a good. It's good.
That was the first thing that popped up in my head. All right, and with that, we kind of hit on most of the things from the actual opening keynote part of FanFest, which is why I suppose people might feel like it was a little weird, because again, we didn't see Malvair, we didn't see a second job, and there was they couldn't talk about a lot of things. They couldn't talk about, apparently. They were supposed to give us, there's one other thing we haven't talked about. They were supposed to give us the name for the 8-man raid. Said they couldn't.
Right.
It wasn't ready. So they won't. They'll do it at Tokyo.
All right. I want you to mellow me out here, Happy, because here's the thing.
Okay.
I always have these big ideas that I think would be so cool, and then they're not realistic. so sometimes you help me.
Yeah, Hammer on Geomancer's a good reference there. Okay.
And Banga. Okay, so a man can dream, but
that's not too. No, you're fine on that one. I think
you're helping bring me down. So, I was thinking, why? I was expecting the announcement of the raid, and then when we don't get it, I'm like, why couldn't we have gotten it? Okay, what's an example scenario that you could rationalize that would be a reason for why we didn't get an announcement? And I'm thinking, well, what else is Square Enix working very hard on? Like, that maybe they're waiting to give some more news on before they announce the raid. What could maybe a few months, I don't know, maybe they can make some big progress on the Final Fantasy VII remake or something. And then we get like a Final Fantasy VII raid, like Midgard, Soldier Project, The Ascendant. All of a sudden, they got a Sephiroth clone in there.
But
maybe.
But
so here's the thing. about all
Do
that.
you want to break this to him, or
Do I want to?
Maybe.
Go ahead.
I haven't decided if I really want to yet.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is there any way?
No. Here's one thing that we've learned. If they didn't stick Sephiroth... So first of all, we have Sephiroth already in Final Fantasy XIV. Not Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
Nail Van Darnus is literally Sephiroth in our game. All of the Legion are representatives of characters. The Legion
summoning Meteor.
Yeah.
Summoning Meteor.
Yeah.
That Legion. Okay, they deviated from that shit because, like, the current Legion... What Legion are we on right now?
Xenos is the 12th.
The 12th. Has nothing to do with 12. But, like, back then, yeah, they were pretty, you know, on point about, like, the whole numbered legions kind of sticking to the game.
1.0 count, or did it not count?
It counted. It's all of its story is still... It's like asking if Coil counted.
No, because you always say 1.0 didn't count.
No, I say 1.0, I wish it didn't exist. That's what I've said.
Yeah.
So... You're telling me we already have a Sephiroth equivalent? I mean, Nail's pretty boss, but I never took... Okay, the summoning Dalamud, I get it, but...
He's got a literal scene where he walks through fire exactly like Sephiroth. Sorry. It's technically she at this point. He's dead long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so okay. So you think we're never getting Sephiroth because our Sephiroth equivalent's already come and gone. Maybe we get him on another...
Omega was their chance.
I know, because we got Final Fantasy V, 6, and then we didn't get 7, and I felt like the whole thing was leading up to that, and I even feel like Omega M kind of was built up to be a Sephiroth and then changed last minute.
He's a lot more like an Adam that we'll be talking about in a minute here.
Well, maybe they wanted to save Sephiroth for something else.
Listen, if there was a place to do it, it would be in the expansion that's about the Empire. I don't think they've hit that level of desperation that they throw a literal Sephiroth in there. And let's be real, it'll probably happen one day. Yeah, as we're calling it the emergency Sephiroth fight, where they go, shit, we're bleeding subs. What do we do? Sephiroth. It's going to happen one day.
Is that really the way to do it? Why wouldn't they do it on a high note? And just have the most...
Well, because it's been done. Okay. All right. Besides Sephiroth, what would you think this next raid would be? I really want to, like, and this was what I was gonna ask both of you. What do you think the next raid is gonna be?
I thought it was gonna be the Ascendant, which plays into the Soldier project. It's the same thing.
Okay.
I don't think we get an Android project and another Super Soldier project at the same time.
Yeah,
not that technically we have already. You know, the Echo enhanced people are in every way our soldiers. Like Xenos is technically like soldier.
They're called the Ascendant, right?
The Resonant.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm calling them Ascendant. I meant the Resonant. That's what I meant. My bad. That's what I meant.
Yeah, the Resonant.
Oh.
Happy?
What do I think the raid will be? I don't think it's going to be related to the Empire. I feel like they're way too much. Here's the thing. I want it to be because I want our normal mode raids to be a part of the main plot. Personally. The main story itself. Like I want 4.2, like 4.0, 4.2, 4.4 to all be part of the main plot. And thus we have story mode raids. Like for me, there's just not an excuse much with it anymore. And then, you know, obviously we have Savages on top of that. So if it was that, and I guess, see, that's the thing though, like everything we've seen up to this point has nothing to do with the Empire. Literally, we've seen nothing about the Empire other than what's happening in 4.5 Part 2. And we've seen Solace in the key artwork. Nothing else has had any relation to the Empire at all in any of the trailers. Only the scene of 4.5 Part 2.
Okay. So, what you say it's time to kind of dip into Fabula Nova Crystallis?
For
the reason other than they're running out of shit to dip into?
No, they're not running out. There's a million things they haven't done yet.
There's a million things they haven't done yet, but there's so much less that makes sense. Like,
no.
Fabula Nova Crystallis would make sense. Like, a Bunavelza raid would make sense.
I mean, I get it. He's a god, but, you know.
What are we saying?
Yeah,
let's talk about Final Fantasy 13.
13. Well, not even 13. Just
listen.
like
First of all, one of the games in Fabian Crystallis never made it. All right, and Type 0 is in there and is very different from a lot of the other stuff.
True, and that was another option itself. Tempest Finis, but I'm not even gonna get started on that. But yeah, I think Benevelsa is an option. It's not likely, but it's an option. It's a route they could go down. But yeah, the whole Fabula Nova Crystallis line, or timeline, would it'd be a warm welcome for them to visit.
I think for my thing, I just have to wonder. There's three things: is Tartarus part of the main story? Is Tartarus the part of the 8-man raid, or is Tartarus how we access Yorha? I need to figure out where Tartarus goes, where the gates to Tartarus go, before I know I can tell anything else.
Right.
So that's it. There's nothing reliable. We haven't seen enough of the Empire for me to guess anything Empire related for the raid, and after that, it's a crapshoot.
But why would they have introduced the Resonance as this big entity, as this problem?
So we could set up Elazinos, because that's how he's able to body transfer into that Elazin. Not that I don't think it's going to come back again. It's going to be important again.
But you think it was just to set up that transformation?
I think that's the immediate payoff, and the payoff later is something else.
Can we talk about that? What do you think? Where's that going?
The Resonant? I mean, I don't know.
No, Elysinos.
Oh, that motherfucker wants his body back. He wants to die as the fucked up thing. He thought he was it's like, all right, that's it. I'm dead. And then he's like, shit, I'm not dead.
You think he'll ally with us ever?
I don't think he wants to, but I think it will be unwilling recipients of his alliance. Because he's gonna walk up to his own body and be like, fuck you, that's mine.
Yeah. That could be kind of cool.
Now he's pissed. He's like, I wanted to die. I had a warrior's death. It was exactly what I would have asked for. And now he's like, the hunt goes on, motherfucker. And we know he pops up on the battlefield in 4.5 Part 2 when we're in the heat of things. So that's my biggest, I can't wait to see what happens with it.
Yeah.
He's like, what better prey than myself? I am the only one worthy to hunt. So he's probably pissed. Big time.
Cool.
And then we have the 24-man raid, which we did get revealed.
Yep.
Sly's got some feels for this. So they reveal the first guest producer, and it's Saito-san, who people saw, Dragon Quest and NieR Automata. Well, obviously they're not going to do anything NieR related, so I guess they're doing something Dragon Quest related, right?
Nope.
Then the second scene comes by, and you're like, oh, they got Yoko Taro. Oh, okay, well.
This shit is happening.
That's fairly telling.
this shit's happening.
Yeah, that's okay. So, and then they reveal it, and the 24-man, and the theme of it will be Yorha Dark Apocalypse.
How the fuck is this gonna happen?
What do you mean?
I feel like there's okay, and this is just me. I haven't played Automata, so I can't say anything Automata-wise. I have played Drakengard 1 through 3. I have played the original NieR. I can't speak on Automata, but how in the world is this shit gonna connect? Please talk me off the ledge.
Okay, so Sly, I'm gonna present to you my thing. Okay, so what is it about it that you don't believe? How do you believe it doesn't how though?
No, it's not now. It's not that I don't believe, but I'm trying to in my head, I'm trying to imagine how this is going to connect into the lore, because they did a really good job of putting Ivalice, weaving Ivalice into the lore. It wasn't that hard for them to do. This I feel is kind of a stretch, a little bit.
So I'll give you that. I'll also give you a quote here from Yoshida himself. Let's see. Where is the exact quote? Oh, maybe it's from the press conference instead of this. Yeah, let me grab the The
I know which one you're talking about when he was like, Yorha, Dark Apocalypse, YDA.
No, not that. I'm not looking for that yet. I'm not looking for that yet. We're not there yet.
No, he's gonna go into that a little bit later. I was about to ask him about that shit. I was about to go into detail about that shit.
Said that. That was Yoshi P that said that, right?
No, Yoshi P didn't say that. I said that.
I'm kidding.
He said that. Mike said that.
I said that.
I'm kidding.
You out of your goddamn mind.
That'd be pretty funny though.
I'm just looking for the original post. Here we go. So this is what Yoshida had to say in regards to Yorha and its relation to Final Fantasy XIV. I can say, at least with this Alliance raid, we are going to have Yorha Dark Apocalypse happen within the realm of Final Fantasy XIV. And we are going to make that transition very smooth and natural. However, in terms of how the worlds cross over, the players will have to find out for themselves. Anything beyond that, I think, depends on how Yoko Taro writes the story. So I'm hoping to have an opportunity for the three of us to sit down and discuss what that's going to entail. He also says in this other portion that I think as we reveal more information, Yorha will begin to make more sense. At any rate, both Saito-san and Yoko-san are being careful to make sure it blends in with Final Fantasy XIV. They do not want the Final Fantasy XIV community to reject it, and of course they want to leave something with you. The 14 team feels the same way. We don't want to impose too much of the NieR community. Both sides want to make something that both communities will enjoy. We'll integrate that into the gameplay experience and create something unpredictable. Man, Yoko Taro and unpredictable.
Yeah,
never heard that before.
I highly doubt that it will get rejected. I highly doubt it, but I feel like something will get, something will fall through the cracks.
Sly, here, you want to know what I have to say about this, Sly?
Okay, go ahead.
Sly, we just finished an expansion where a space robot chased a dragon through a galaxy to make a pocket dimension on our planet to hold a tournament of power.
Fucking Omega.
And that suddenly makes it any less believable than androids?
Fair point.
Omega's never been able to do this shit before. He's been able to travel through dimensions.
Okay, I'll give you Omega. I'll give you even Gilgamesh on that point. But Yorha is
maybe we're time traveling, man. Maybe that's why it's going to make more sense.
And I just feel like something will fall through the cracks. I might be wrong. I want to be wrong. I probably will be wrong. I don't care. But
arrogance. Maybe they all have the resonant. Maybe they're all people who were experimented on with the resonant.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think it's cool as shit, and I have faith they'll be able to make it fit. They're not taking the Omega route. If they said, hey, we're going to take the Omega route and make a simulation and it's complete bullshit the whole time, if they do that, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I'm kind of over the simulations.
I'll be in the same boat as you if they do.
We had the same thing with the Warring Triad, right? Warring Triad was just simulations.
No, the EXs, the extremes are simulations.
The EXs were
after we've killed them and they're no longer in existence. We use simulations to do the extreme fight.
Hey,
the story ones were actually real.
When are we gonna get it to where the story is a simulation training mode for the Savage, and the Savage is the real thing?
It won't happen ever.
That seems ass backwards.
I know. That's what I'm saying. When are we gonna get it to where it's like, because it feels weird that the simulation is like the big challenge one, right? Like the simulation should be the training mode.
No, man, we take the combat data and we fight it at its full power. Basically, we were fighting weakened versions after they'd been in prison for 5,000 years with no followers. Just
that's
held
how it
in
was in the
stasis.
Warring Triad, right?
Yeah, and then their simulation was a simulation of them when they were first captured, before they had weakened.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't have an issue believing androids, but if they go the simulation route, I'll be pissed.
I hope it's not the simulation route.
No.
I want it to feel real.
Yeah,
but maybe it'll be some time traveling. We pop in somewhere, trying to get somewhere else, and then boom,
I really don't want this time travel bullshit either.
Isn't that where we're going though?
That's what a lot of people suspect.
Everything?
There's a lot of hints. There's a lot of
people saying
context.
that it's time travel. And
there's a lot of context that implies
it feels a little weak to say time travel, in my opinion. It's just me.
I've seen a lot of people at the very least go with a time skip. Like story-wise, a bunch of time has taken place between plot point A and plot point B.
I'd much rather have time travel than a time skip, because time skip's going to be so awkward, especially for the people that are going through it a year from when we do. Like, when we go through it, it won't be so bad. But imagine how that's going to age. A time skip, and in 5 years, when you're just questing through a time skip, all of a sudden you turn in one quest and then do the next one, and it's years later, and it's going to feel weird.
You know what we call that? 1.0 to 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally a 5-year time skip between the two.
Yeah, well, they shut down the servers and everything for that, right? We had to wait.
They shut them
We're gonna have to wait for this.
They didn't shut them down for 5 years.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, if they do it well, I'll be fine. Otherwise, it'll be fun to go through. Which at the very least is all they're going for, and I'll be at least somewhat okay with that. I can't wait to ask Athos what he thinks. I think he said he thought they were smoking too much or something. I don't remember what his Twitter said.
I kind of.
You kind of with him on that? A little bit? I don't know. I just care if it's fun. I want it to fit in the lore, and if it doesn't, I'll be massively disappointed. But until then, I'll just wait, because I don't know. What am I supposed to do? I don't know.
I think they're pretty consistent with how much care they seem to take with the story. I don't think they're just going to slap something together for the sake of tying up two ends, you know?
They won't, but something will fall through. And
Oh,
I just think people hate time travel. But I think it's cool. I think Square Enix
it's an overused story mechanic.
Man, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance sure did lose the fucking plot when it started introducing time travel. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So anyway, that's the last 24, man. That's the last bit of news, I believe, that we got directly from the opening keynote. When we got to the live letter the next day, we got a little bit more information. First about the PvP map that's coming a week from today. The Hidden Gorge.
Trains.
Yep.
Trains.
And cannons.
I hope it's good. I always hope it's good.
We all do.
I think it'll probably be good. But even if it is good, does that mean people are going to play it?
Until they have their mounts.
Yeah, until they have their mounts, until they have their one-time glamour that they want to get, if there's any new things that even get put in, and then it's going to be back to where Rival Wings is now. That's the problem.
I kind of agree with you on the retention. I don't know. It's easier to say that there's more retention to Feast, especially after FanFest. After FanFest, I feel like there's a little bit more retention to Feast than there is to Rival Wing.
I wish it was bigger, man. I think the PvP, even though it needs work, I think it's still fun. Even though it needs work, okay? I think we all agree it needs work, but it's still fun to do. I just have trouble finding queues, man.
Okay. Do either of you think there is a solid way to hype Rival Wings?
Nice mount, bro.
Besides the mount.
I just think they need to put more rewards for wolf marks that people actually care about. That make it a really good way to get materia. Make it a really good way to cap your Genesis. Like, make it something that people are going to do every week.
The thing about that is a materia is a joke to get now. So if people are going to do it, PvP probably won't be the route they take. And Genesis is a joke to get now. Yeah. So I can cap out my Genesis in a lockout of Eureka.
Well, not everyone of Eureka. How many people are willing to go into Eureka to do that, though?
Enough people that I almost have full instances. Pretty often.
Not as much as you think. You know, if people could find an alternative, it's not a bad thing.
Hunts, roulettes.
I'm not saying there's not a.
I just don't think you can make it a better way. Like, you can't make it that superior to cap and draw anyone in with those. I think they need Wolfmark rewards more frequently. I don't think adding other stuff is going to help. They need, like, mega glam. Like, a shit ton of glam.
It just depends how quick you got it, right? If it was the quickest, even by a little bit, people would do it, I think. Like, you just hear everywhere. Okay, hey, I'm a new player. What's the quickest way to get Genesis? If you said PvP, there'd be more people in PvP, I think. It might not be that much more, but it might be enough to where you could get a queue. And then people start realizing it's fun just because they're doing it more. And then more people start doing it. At least more than it is now, man. Any step in the right direction is a good step, I think. That's one. You can even put like hard to get dyes in there and stuff. You could put like dyes that you have to craft or something. I don't know. Something. These are just ideas I'm coming up with in 10 seconds, you know? Like
No. That's fine. I agree that, incentive would bring more people in, but are you really sure you want the free chicken folk?
Hell yeah.
Free chicken folk are pretty rough. Because that's who you're inviting, are the free chicken folk.
Well, it's not so bad when they're on the other team. It's just a fun when they're on your team, man.
Yeah. That's my only concern.
It's not so bad when they're on the other team. You're willing to take that chance?
Yeah, we take it every time we're in the party finder.
Good point.
Same thing, man.
Depressing point.
I live in the party finder. Cleared everything I've tried to in the party finder. It's not that bad. It's just work. But hey, and when you're in PvP, at least you get enjoyment out of the person being on the other team. It's not just on your team like it is in the party finder.
Yeah, the raid boss didn't bring his own party finder.
Yeah, he didn't bring his own free chicken.
He didn't bring his own free chicken. We call that 01. Anyway, there you go. So, yeah, I mean, let's just say I'm not going to be that, getting that deep into it. It's just not fun enough.
I'll try it if I can get a queue.
Rock, man. I just want my seal. In this map, apparently Astrologos is doing a lot better now in terms of queues and balance since the most recent updates to it, at least if you're playing during peak hours. So if this one's better, if this one's more balanced than the last one, then I could see a bit more consistency there. But for the most part, if you want to do the PvP maps, you have to join things like the Revival Wings community, like queues, where like everyone gets together in queues. So that way there's always queues popping on like Saturdays and shit like that.
Okay. Admittedly, I haven't tried that. I'm sure that's fun. Yeah. But yeah, I just wish it was more active during the day or just on a routine basis. So any way they could do that, I almost think they need to do that before they
throw trust in there. Fuck.
I think they need to do something before they bother creating any more instances. I don't think the problem with PvP is lack of instances or lack of new battlegrounds.
Yeah, it's lack of Seal Rock.
It's lack of getting people back into Seal Rock. Exactly. It is really, that really is.
We need the good PvP modes back. we need the good PvP modes back.
I'm just saying we need to get people into it before we spend any more time making more.
Yeah, I can agree with that sentiment. At least it's not Shatter.
Yeah, I mean, Shatter's kind of whack with the spawns.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shatter is off the fucking chain. Fuck both of y'all.
Shatter's fun. Shatter's fun, just not to take seriously. Because if you get your spawns on...
That's why y'all are not having fun, because you're taking it too fucking seriously.
You're right. You're right. I can admit that.
Like, Shatter... Oh, okay. Shatter is a joke. Shatter is a joke.
Okay.
If you go in seriously, you will not have fun. Go in to the point of knowing that it is a meme, and you will be okay.
Or I could not go in at all and do something else.
There you go. Sure. Why not?
I prefer this option. Not all jokes are funny, Slyh. Nice.
Did someone say that?
Nice. Yes, they did. Not all jokes are funny, Slyh.
That one was.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like it. Okay. So okay, we're moving on.
Let me say one thing. You know how last time I was on, we talked about Mahjong?
Yeah.
You're like, I wonder if that's gonna keep going?
Yeah.
those queues still pop, unlike PvP. Any time of day, you can queue Mahjong and people are
people
playing.
take that shit seriously as fuck.
People still playing.
Christ.
What do you know? Something that's highly competitive is doing really well. Suddenly Shatter not looking so hot.
Man, you are really beating this fucking horse, dude. Like, that horse is like just...
No, the horse... No, the horse...
Riding and you're still...
No. The horse you get from what is it called? Secure. That's the horse.
There's a feast horse, too.
There's... Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Y'all are beating all the fucking horses. Oh, my God.
Mahjong's true PvP.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the new PvP mode. Good luck, because I probably won't be queuing for it day one. Because something else has my attention far more. And that would be our good old finale to Eureka in that of Hydatos. Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool!
Yeah, no, cool. Yeah. Now, see, here's the thing. Pyros was good fun. Animos was, okay, I can do this. Yeah. Animos I like to describe as, okay, I guess I can do this. Pagos was, I'm literally going to go play Final Fantasy XI instead.
Why?
Why?
Seriously, why?
I never made it out of Pagos, man. I've not made it out.
It's a lot easier now. I did a full
It's a lot
relic
easier
in
now. They
Pagos
bumped
in,
the shit out of
4
it.
lockouts.
I know. But I never made it out, man. I think they dropped it with
First, you got any free time between now and Friday?
Yeah, I'm in, dude.
Then you're done.
No. I'm just saying. Like, do you have like maybe a couple hours where you are just catching up on a show? There's a movie you want to watch.
Okay, talk to me.
I know
You want to hear?
I know where this is going.
There's a podcast you want to hear. You know, just go in. You know, put on some jams. Either listen to a podcast. Watch some anime in the background. Like, catch up on Game of Thrones in the background. It gets really that.
Yeah, with those dryads.
Way to fucking hammer in a point, Haps. Thanks. God damn.
With the pixies of the forest.
Yes, the pixies of the forest. Yeah, just whenever you are just feeling froggy and you have nothing else to do but watch some shit, go into Pagos. I assure you will get your shit done in the time that you watch a movie. You could probably watch 2 Rocky movies and be done with a weapon.
All right, I wouldn't go that far, Sly. Not without a light party. Took me 4 lockouts, and that was because with a full lockout of
with
NMs.
buffs?
Yeah, with the buffs. It goes 5 light crystals per lockout with just NMs, and then 9 crystals from a solo light, and then 13 crystals from a solo light.
Boys.
Okay, there's a trick.
I know there's Sly. Look who you're talking to.
Are you talking like you're saying with the bunny trick?
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm the one who made the video.
He said I made the bunny trick.
I didn't make the bunny trick. I made the video on the bunny trick.
He made the video for it.
Said I popularized the bunny trick.
There you go.
There you go. Okay. So maybe 3 Rocky movies. Okay.
All right, Haps, tell us about Hydratos, man. What do we got to look forward to?
Hydatos. There's no
Hydatos.
There's no R. There's a lot of people who say that.
R.
Hydratos.
Yeah.
It's Hydra. They want to get on the Hydra.
I did it in the beginning, but I realized there was no R. So Hydatos.
Hydatos. First of all, it looks beautiful. Looks like the best zone of the bunch.
The screenshots looked good. That's the one thing I actually looked at about it. The screenshots looked good.
Yeah, it looks like it's way more open and a lot, because that was the big complaint about Pagos and Pyros compared to Animos, is they were much more constricted map-wise. Yeah. They're basically big area, narrow corridor, big area, narrow corridor, big area, narrow corridor.
I feel like there's going to be some form of constriction.
Oh, I have no doubt that there's going to be like valleys off on the sides that are like that.
You have to go through hell and half of Georgia just to get to one point. You can't get to like Pagos. There are some areas you can get to, and then
they stopped doing that. They won't do that again. They won't do that thing like they did with Pagos. They deliberately stayed away from it with Pyros.
Okay.
They ain't gonna do that drop off a cliff bullshit again to get to this place or go fuck yourself.
Oh no, I'm not even talking about that. It's just the fact that you like when you say wide open, I'm like if somebody tells me wide open, I can go anywhere the fuck I want at any time. Like,
you can do not that even talking about just don't aggro.
Yeah. I'm not even talking about like aggro restrictions or anything. Hydatos, like I expect you to be able to go anywhere. No aggro restriction, like not even counting aggro restrictions or anything, but just you should be able to go to this place without talking about the level what was it, 56 thing that we're gonna mention in a few minutes. But I ain't even talking about that, but you know.
Sly, I've got a piece of advice for you.
Mm-hmm.
Walk. Because you can go anywhere in any of them at any time. You just have to walk there. You got legs. They work. Go. Any input there, Sly?
Give me a second.
I just don't know what you're talking about not being able to go places. There's not like a gate that says, hey, you fucking 20 yet? You 25 yet? No? All right. Get the fuck out of here. You just got to be sneaky. I'm sneaky. I don't aggro things in Eureka anymore because I know how aggro works. I played 11. I'm very, very tuned to how
the people who did not play 11.
Hey, this man didn't make it to Juno to get his Chocobo license unless he went through some monsters that were 20 levels higher than him that sent his ass 15 minutes back in time. That's just travel time, not even the EXP that he lost. This dude, I believe it. I bet he can work his way around Eureka.
I aggroed a lot in Pagos because I didn't know that those little fuck faces after the dragon were sound aggro, and then as soon as I figured that out, they can aggro me either.
Okay, so let me ask this. Despite whether it's wide open or not wide open, do we know what item level the weapon's going to be, or is that speculation?
I would presume 405.
Okay, so you're presuming equal to Omega weapon.
Better.
Because it's got more materia slots?
It's got a higher maximum stat. The maximum stats on Omega weapons, I think, is 685, and you can have up to 1,000 on these for substats.
Because that's how it is in Pagos right now. Or I mean Pyros.
Pyros, yeah. And these weapons always supreme weapons by the end of the expansion. They're meant to be like, hey, it's finally here, and it doesn't matter, but it can be the best if you want it to be.
That seems like a bigger of a jump than we're used to, though, from the raid weapon, doesn't it?
It's
like 1,000.
No, yeah, it is. It is a lot more because it's usually 3 materia, like maybe something like the equivalent of 3 materia slots worth of stats.
Yeah,
where you're used to having 2, and this is like hundreds more
of each stat. Right.
Well, I mean, so it depends on what stats. Like I have 585 crit on my monk weapon. You can't get 585 crit. It's like 585 crit and like 210 direct hit, and then like 80 determination.
But you're thinking that's going to go up when the item level goes up.
Right?
I
know. I know. I think the stat cap's going to stay at 1,000, but if the item level goes up to 405, as soon as you have more substats than the Omega weapon, it's better.
Right. I'm just saying, do you think your secondary stats are even going to scale higher when you upgrade your weapon?
I don't think they need to. I think it's pointless.
Absolutely.
At 390, they can be 100. They're already 320 points higher at maximum than the old weapons. You're not guaranteed to get that, but still.
You could get some really crazy weapons then.
I have a 585 crit monk fist.
I know, that's crazy.
My Omega fist, I don't even think has crit on it.
Yeah.
I think you have to meld crit. So I think I get 80 crit versus 580.
Yeah, it's already crazy. If it scales any higher, that's going to be ridiculous. So I guess it probably won't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's going to be the best weapon, assuming you have the best substats on it. And the armor, I think, will be 390. 395 materia slots.
390 armor, 5 materia slots.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That'll be good, too.
It will be.
Whew. Wow.
It's some pretty good shit for the end of the expansion. Doesn't matter at all, but it's there.
Imagine a BIS, though, that's just like all Eureka gear.
I wouldn't even wear this stuff into leveling in 5.0 because I don't want to. Because I don't want to see tanks in this stuff when their defense is gonna be dick by the time they get to like the second dungeon. That's been a big enough topic.
Just like the tanks that had all strength accessories, this expansion at the beginning, and their HP was dick.
No, I'm not as worried about that. It was more the ones that were trying to do like full wall-to-wall pulls in Doma Castle in like 260 gear.
Yeah, 270 strength accessories.
That's more what I'm referring to, where they're like, come on, I can do this, and I'm dead. Why didn't you heal me?
Yeah,
you mean when I don't pop Rampart and I pull wall-to-wall with gear that's 20 item levels lower than what the dungeon rewards, that I die?
And you're like, pop a cooldown next time, and they're like, I used anticipation. And you're like, bro. Sly looks so disgusted, as if someone has said that to him.
I've had like when I leveled fucking White Mage in the beginning, I had these conversations. And I'm like, I'm checking off my checklist. I'm like, okay, did you pop a cooldown? What's your gear looking?
Anticipation.
Anticipation doesn't count.
That is the people debuff in full effect.
Uh-huh.
Like, dude, how many stacks does that give, though?
Dude, that one person is 3 stacks.
God damn.
Like, bro, check the VOD. I had anticipation up.
Check the VOD. It implies you're just recording it.
Yeah.
I like to record my dungeon runs so I can look back and show you how right I was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Pyros for me, if Eureka had started like Pyros became, I would have been immensely like, I would have enjoyed every iteration. I still think Pagos would have had some issues, map design and the rates at which you spawn NMs. But Logos actions and the discovery, that was really where the idea of exploring and discovery felt like it was at its peak. Like trying to figure out what combinations made what, using all this crazy OP shit that just seems like, oh, they totally didn't think, wow, why didn't they think that we were going to abuse that? And they're like, no, we did. We just wanted you to have fun. And so that was good. And they even said they were supposed to have Logos actions in Onimos and Pagos, and it wasn't ready in time. And that sucks because it made them a lot worse, like a million times worse. So if Hydatos can take what was good about Pyros and see if we can get Emergency Mission 2.0 correct with this public dungeon, then we might be onto something. Sly, listen, I know you of all people have been the people I've waited.
I don't think
I've waited.
Holy shit.
I've waited for this.
My God. When coach is like, yeah, you have to have trust. I'm like, bitch, where?
I immediately was like, Sly.
Bitch, where?
Sly's got a debuff.
Trust. And how many people did he say? 56, including you? 56? Yeah, so I gotta make
55 debuff.
Yeah, I gotta make 33 more fucking debuffs for the fucking people debuff. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's crazy,
like,
man.
You're talking about people de-leveling from this shit when you can't even res.
Okay, I'll be fair. I de-level on purpose in Pyros because it makes certain things easier. So I really don't give a shit. I never thought I'd do it, but like I'll de-level to 46 to farm mitigative logograms because it takes me like an hour to get back to 50. So I don't give a shit about losing the EXP going into there. I can't wait to see the salt mines that come from this because it's Sly, you're underplaying it. You don't just de-level and lose and can't res. By the way, it says certain restorative magics don't work, which implies there are ways to res people, just not with traditional spells. Maybe it's Logos actions. Maybe there's like a Karn of Return, like in Palace of the Dead. Maybe after you kill a boss, like you can res everyone who died.
They did
for
say
example.
It was
like they did draw some comparisons to Palace of the Dead, where they were like there's traps on there's traps on the ground and stuff like that, like invisible traps and shit. Phoenix Downs between combat, like that's always a possibility. But in combat, it makes it seem like, you know, Red Mage, Res bots, not going to be a thing.
But Hass, we talking about the Wild Wild West here, dude. Like, we're talking about freaking Eureka. Like, nobody give a shit about any. Hold on.
Yeah, there's also there's like Logos actions that give you re-raise too. There's Logos actions that do give you re-raise. They're adding new Logos actions that could have some relevance there. It's like, oh, sorry, I'm dropping the thing that Aloha was playing with. Listen, I don't trust people either, but Sly, you're still underplaying it. Because not just that you have 56 people that can't res if they die through traditional means. If you lose, you're going to lose a level. You're going to get kicked out. And you're going to have to farm the spawn items again to get back in.
Well, maybe people will try hard considering all that. Maybe it'll be a higher level of play.
In Eureka, when people, like, it's already Netflix and chill in Eureka anyway. Really? And I told you. Well, okay. No, well, like, to be fair, it's fucking Pagos, and nobody gives a shit about Pagos anyway. But the new shit? I don't give a damn. These hoes ain't loyal.
That, I don't know how that became the best descriptor of Eureka. These hoes ain't loyal. I can hear Chris Brown singing it in my ear right now. It's that song with Tyga. It's a good song. I like it. So I'm gonna definitely try and win.
Good luck, Haps.
Yeah, good luck.
And if it turns out well, because they said the fights aren't hard. They just said you're going in, you don't know, and people are, you know, people are, you know.
The fights aren't hard.
People are people. You're right. You are exactly right, Haps. People are.
He said, you know, you might panic. Maybe some other guy just died, and you're like, oh no, now I died.
Oh no.
Yeah, absolute virtue. And there's also another, they didn't even talk about the other Ozma that's in there. There's like an Ozma clone in there too that they showed in the trailer. Using the Ozma Savage when they were talking about, maybe if we do Ozma Savage, we'll do this from like fan fests ago. It's going to be rough. I'm willing to lose a level. It's going to be easy. I'll solo it. I'm going Paladin. I won't have any issues. I'll just bring cure Logos actions and, like, defensive Logos actions. I'll solo. Hi.
Sly's not amused.
Neither is my cat, apparently.
Nope.
Neither
is Aloha's not amused either.
Exactly. Dude, maybe the new Logos actions are, like, invincible. Just be invincible. Fuck it. Easy. I'll just bring Reflect. It worked in all of Pyros. I don't know. I'm hoping it's fun. If it's not, though, it makes me very concerned because they are planning more exploration content in 5.0. 5.x, they've confirmed that already. Aloha.
Just why? Why are they doing this?
I have no idea.
I think there's a problem. I think there's a problem when the selling point of your content is like, dude, or not the selling point, but when like what people suggest that you do is like, dude, just go in and watch a show. Just go in and do something else while you're doing this. Like there's a problem with your content when what the typical advice is just don't be playing the game while you're playing the game.
Okay, my original advice, to be fair, my original advice wasn't that different, you know. It's like, hey, you got shit to do? No. Okay. You going into Eureka? Sure. Like, get a 6-pack, you know, turn on your favorite music, you know, throw on some Jimmy Jams and have fun.
Yeah, see, for me, I don't mind that because that was literally all of Final Fantasy XI, and Eureka is trying to be that. Like, you threw on a show and just fucking let that distract you from the monotony of what you were doing.
It's different, though, because the game was built around that. 11 was built around that content.
So because 11 was built around Netflix not existing yet, but we have it now?
It was a different time for sure. It was a different time for sure. For one, everyone was on single monitors. Everyone's internet sucks too bad to be doing all that. It was a different time.
Netflix came out at the wrong time, man. If it had come out with Final Fantasy XI when it's in its heyday, they would have had way more subscribers.
I mean, Netflix was out at the time, but they didn't have the app.
It went out in 2005. That was Redbox.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Redbox.
That was Redbox.
It's still different, though. Like YouTube was out, but not everybody was watching YouTube in their EXP parties. Some people were doing their thing.
No, because that frame rate was going to be ass if you were on YouTube in fucking 11 episodes.
That's for sure.
That's not true. I had Wi-Fi for one. I had my direct connection for the other.
I just think it doesn't work as well in this game. Because I can't put my finger on why. Because I loved it in 11, but in this game it just does. It just seems like I don't know. It almost feels forced, but in 11 it was actually forced, and that's why it felt natural. Does that make sense?
I know what you want to say.
It's kind of forced here too.
I know. That's what he's saying though. He says it was forced, and what you're saying is one was on purpose, one is integrated into something. It's nothing. One's like everything else in its own game, and the other's not like everything else in its own game.
Yeah. Thank you. You put that better than I did. Anyway, it feels wrong because of that. But I'm glad people enjoy it. I feel bad every time we go into these discussions on the podcast because I just don't contribute. Like, I just don't do Eureka.
And then in a way, though,
it's okay.
In a way, though, it's a contribution that is equal to a lot of people's emotions towards Eureka.
Yeah.
You have to consider that side of it. Trust me, I've been saying I don't want more exploration content. What I have said is if they decide to do it, if it's the quality of Pyros at the start, it'll be fine. Yep. If it's the quality of Onymos and Pagos at the start, I'm going to question it.
We're going to question it regardless.
No, I'm going to question it. I'm going to question it until I see what the quality is like. That's it, man. That's just how it's going to be for me. See, then that card didn't agree. That's fine. Honk. I'll wait. We'll have a show about Hydatos next week anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll know what exactly how we're going to feel. And then finally, Sly, can you just give me what I'm expecting from you real quick?
All my friends know the low rider.
That wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting more like a Hap Jesus.
No.
But yeah, so my prediction was true. Although I lost hope after the opening keynote. The 14-15 collab was confirmed, which we knew it was in the works. We knew it was happening, so it's not like it was a surprise. We just didn't know when. And we got a trailer for it. It shows what looks to be a few fates in like Northern Phanolin and in the Shroud. Against the Deathclaw, against some of the Imperials from Final Fantasy 15. And then an instance with Noctis where you're fighting the Final Fantasy 15 equivalent of Garuda, which was introduced in their side of the Final Fantasy 14-15 collaboration. And I'm looking forward to it because we get a car. a four-seater mount. Everyone's like, so how much is that going to be on the Mog station? They're like, it's a reward. And they're like, yeah, but like, how much is it on the box station? And it's like, no, you get it from this. Yeah, it's coming with this, but that doesn't tell me the price. Everyone just refused to accept that it's from the fucking collaboration.
Do the collaboration. Enjoy the content. Please look forward to it. Earn your car.
There you go. Earn your car. You know how many people wish they could just buy the Rathalos mount because they don't want to farm 50 Rathalos scales for that?
I got so lucky on that one. It actually dropped. I actually saw it drop and got it. That was insane. I still need 15 more scales. Or a drop. Pretty much. It's on my to-do list. I wonder if this encounter will be a lot different from the norm for Final Fantasy XIV combat, like Rathalos was.
Well, it looks like there's a Warp Strike duty action in particular.
Yeah.
Also, you see Noctis using his Armiger, but with Final Fantasy XIV weapons. So, hopefully implying that
some of them are already 15 weapons to begin with.
No, those were all like 14, like an Astro Globe and the bow. Like, they're all like 14 weapons.
I'm just saying some of them like are like...
Other than his engine blade, the models they're using were, I think they were Realm Reborn weapons. I think the only one is his engine blade. That's different from the rest. But the thing is here is when they show off the Garuda part, it's hard to tell if it's for cinematic effect or not, but it's a solo. It looks like it's like a solo instance with the Warrior of Light and Noctis. I'm wondering if it's like a one-player instance for the normal mode and they do like a 4-player extreme for for like Rathalos, you know?
Yeah, that could be cool.
And then you need 50 Garuda whatevers to get them out, you know, kind of just like I expected it to be a carbon copy. I like the way Rathalos worked, personally.
Yeah, I really liked that encounter. I thought that was so well done.
Yeah, and I will say I've done the 15 side of the collaboration, and they did a really good job bringing Garuda from 14 into that. Like, it's literally the fight. You know, you have to protect the pillars. They have Tirada and Suparna.
No joke.
Yeah. They have extreme. Cool. They have extreme. They have normal mode, and they have hard mode and extreme mode in that one. And extreme mode, I've tried beating like loyal to Final Fantasy 14, like without like super cheesing it like you can in 15. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm going ham. I need to go full ham. This shit is obnoxious to try and do without being like super OP Noctis. Because if you survive the attacks, if you don't protect the pillars, you just lose. Even if you survive the attack, you just lose if you don't treat the pillars correctly. You got to
kill all the splumes and everything.
Yeah, she's constantly summoning the flu. She's constantly summoning. She doesn't summon any satin plumes. Only the other ones. It's pretty fucking chaotic, and they did a really good job with it on that side. And then you farm her and you get elegant tomestones to buy weapons and shit like that.
Nice.
She's very loyal to Final Fantasy 14. So I'm hoping that this fight in the 15 side is going to be pretty nice. I'm hoping that there is a 4-player EX version similar to Rathalos, because we could use it, because this doesn't come till mid-April, approximately. And by that point, you know, it's only a couple months out from the expansion at that point.
Yeah.
There's going to be some big times to try and retain people. My prediction was also wrong. I thought it was going to be in early March, because that's when episode Arden comes out, is in March.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, but seems like they're going with we don't have shit else going on here, so let's do it in April.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
I am too. I don't feel like they ever really, like, as cynical as I may come off sometimes with my opinions on some things like Eureka, I really do love the game, even if it doesn't always come across that way. And I really, like, they never really drop the ball with an encounter. I feel like the encounters are always fun. They're always exciting. At least the first time through, I can't really think of an encounter that I thought they dropped the ball with. So I know it'll be fun at least once. I don't know if I'll farm it 50 times.
Byakko literally makes you drop the ball for 2.5 minutes. So yeah.
Dude, I thought Byakko was hyped the first time, especially. And Byakko got so much hate about that transition, but I still always enjoyed Byakko. I thought he was good. I didn't think he was as bad as people said, but I know you got a different opinion. Happy just looks disgusted. I just wish they
01 Savage was also a fucking shit show. 01, yeah, you can't even remember who the fuck it was. It was that bad.
Altroyd.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that was bad. That was
he was a nice first step. To introduce a first-time raider into Savage raiding, he's a good first step. Try to put yourself in the shoes of nobody or someone who's never raided before. That's probably a pretty cool fight. Good first fight for an expansion that may be bringing first-time MMOers. Not even then. I think he's pretty good for that. I think he's pretty good for the first one. Now, Chatternook, on the other hand, should have been deleted and replaced with something else.
I would rather have Chatternook as the introductory Savage fight for someone who's never raided before.
Really?
Yeah, it's a dummy.
Yeah, Chatternook's a dummy, straight up.
You think I'm gonna trust somebody with getting out of the front of the fucking boss on alt-right? I don't trust nobody. They're going over the edge. Fuck it. And then Catastrophe is self-evident. He understands what happens when you go from alt-right to that.
It's a catastrophe.
It's a catastrophe. Yeah. Either way, we got a bunch of stuff from the FanFest. A lot of stuff to speculate on with not really much of basis with which to speculate on, which is why we're in this weird boat. But now we simply wait until March 23rd. There's nothing else we can do. We can do Hydatos and Hidden Gorge in the meantime.
March 23rd, JP FanFest.
Yep. They have 15,000 people attending JP FanFest.
Wow.
You know how many people were at Europe?
Nope.
4,500.
15,000 is going to be a JP. How many was it NA?
I think it was 6,000 for NA.
Oof.
So they better have some deep shit at Japanese Fan Festival.
Dang.
So when they said we need a bigger venue for North America, yeah, you sure do.
15,000 people, man.
Oh my god, it was insane. We need 15,000 people, big time. That's like a real like major convention. He's like it's like a mini TGS. I'm like, okay, calm down. Yeah, I get it, but like, calm down.
That's awesome though. There's that much support for it.
Yeah, I really wish I was able to go, but I think it's not on such short notice. Now I would have had to have decided that as soon as they announced it, because now with the move, I don't want to do that shit. I ain't down for that. So yeah, unless there's something else that we missed that you guys want to talk about, I think we're Gucci.
We Gucci the Coot.
No, I think it was good. I think we hit on the major points. There's a few super hype major points like Gunbreaker and 24-man's pretty hype. Yeah, I'm glad we got to talk about that. I'm excited for that. I'm really waiting for May, man. I guess is when we're gonna hear about the combat adjustments. That's what I'm more excited for than anything. And well, the 8-man or the raid, the 8-man raid. Whenever.
Yeah, we'll find out about that raid at Tokyo as well. So we're gonna find out about male Vieira's at Tokyo, another job at Tokyo.
Yeah, and the next job.
Chat's upset I didn't bring up the Ida thing.
I think I ruined it. I think I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, you took everything out of it.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Fire.
My bad.
It was funny because somebody linked me a quote from the MSQ where, you know, Papalimo brings Lise Ida's mask. So it's like, then obviously they found the body. But I know in that lore book, I couldn't find the entry, the first lore book where it says they never found the sister. Because that's how we knew Ida had a sister prior to her saying it in the MSQ was from lore book number 1. So I got to go back and find exactly that quote. But the conspiracy was that Yorha Dark Apocalypse, YDA, Ida, we never found Ida's body. Ida's going to be 2P. And I'm saying 2P because that's not 2B. That's our alternate costume from Soul Calibur. It is.
Yeah.
The costume in the art that they showed us for Yorha is 2P from Soul Calibur.
Oh, straight up.
Yeah.
It's not 2B in the art. It's 2P.
I mean, it's 2B. 2P is an alternate costume, but like they went with the alternate costume in the art.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
They chose to do that.
I'm just saying that if we find out Ida's an android, I won't be surprised.
Yeah. Look at that.
That's my tinfoil hat theory for 5.0.
You might be onto something.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Sly, don't give me that. What, you got something against my Ida theory? That Ranikel helped me start with?
Yes.
Why?
Everything.
Everything? That's not specific. When you say everything, you mean nothing.
No, I mean everything. Like Ida's an android, really.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out to this realm.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed learning about Ida being an android. Confirmed.
We will be back next week.
On Friday.
On Friday.
And then we won't have a show the following week.
Mm-hmm.
Because moving! I did it! Again. For the 4th time. This will be different. All of it. I don't know how yet, but it'll be different. I have a bigger workspace in the new place. It's gonna be nice. Maybe I'll finally hook up this Vive that's been sitting here for 2 fucking years. Because I don't have space for it. But on that note, we're gonna wrap up for the week. So thank you again to SteelSeries for sponsoring. Thank you again to our Patreon, our patrons for sponsoring. And now, Fahros, it's your little outro. So, you know, what do you got going on?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting my man, Hap. My name is Fahros. If you would like to see more of what I do, you can find me on twitch.tv/Fahros, twitter.com/Fahros, all things Fahros. I do a lot of endgame raiding in Final Fantasy XIV. I know there's a lot of people getting into Final Fantasy XIV, a lot of new sprouts, a lot of people coming over from the Twitch Prime free starter edition, if you have Twitch Prime, which just started on February 3rd, I think, and is going until May 4th. So if you have Twitch Prime and you would like to test out the game and you're not already a fan, definitely come by and enjoy Eorzea with us. I'm actually starting an event on Saturdays for people that are just getting into the game. It's called Starter Saturdays. Me and my friend JCat Gaming TV are setting aside 3 hours a week, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we raid and show people the ropes if they're just looking to get into raiding in Final Fantasy XIV, or if they're just looking to try to up their game a little bit. We're trying to put some time aside to play with people from the community and help people get started. So feel free to hit us up, twitch.tv/Fahros, twitter.com/Fahros. I'd love to talk at you, and welcome to our wonderful game. Hopefully I see you out there.
And next on the list is our YouTube star, as of recently, Slyh. Slyh has a video that hit 700,000 views on YouTube. Well, I'm just talking because I'm proud of you, Slyh. X gave it to you.
He did.
He really did.
He really fucking did. Oh my god. You can find me on twitch.tv/Slyh, aka Greyfox. You can find me on Instagram at Slyh, aka Greyfox07. Twitter at Slythefox, youtube.com/The Velvet Room, where you can probably find that fucking video. Saturday is the 9th. Is it not? It is. It is. Saturday, February 9th. Your boy's going to be on the front page for Black History Month. So let's fucking go. Yeah. So Saturday we'll be doing some Super Robot Wars X, because hopefully we will be done with Super Robot Wars B. We'll see. Maybe. Yeah. Front page, Saturday. We'll be starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we will be getting front page at about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Either way, we're starting early. Come by, come see all the Animu mech robots, because, you know, everybody loves the Animu. Everybody loves the Gokus and the Gundams. So, yeah, that's my whole spiel. Love you all. Love you.
I love you too, man.
Haps, where can they find you?
You can find me, Mr. Happy1227, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all those places. I don't have anything going on Saturday in particular, because that wall behind me is what's going on for me on Saturday, because all that's my Saturday project after everything. Yeah, all that stuff gotta get put in boxes. All right, so that's what I got going on Saturday. There's some stuff over here. Some of it's getting thrown out. Some of it's in boxes already, so that's fine. And then there's some stuff in there I've already packed up. So there's stuff that's packed, but specifically Saturday, that behind me is what's all going in boxes. Because if I don't get it done before Hydados comes around, I'm fucked. All right? Because it's going to be a long day and a long week. It's already been a long day and a long week, and I'm behind on mad shit because I got to get ready for this move and everything. So wish me the best of luck with all that, because I'm going to need it. It's going to be a fun time. Yay. And once it's over, that fat son of a bitch who's sleeping on my PS4, that motherfucker is getting drugged up for a drive up to San Francisco.
Damn. Jesus Christ, Haps, not the kidding.
Harsh, dude.
No, he needs to get, because he's going to be stressed out.
No more hugs until he gets off drugs. The fuck?
He's got, dude, we had to get him a sedative for the drive up, because otherwise he's going to be stressed and it's going to freak him the fuck out. He hates being in the cars. We had to test the sedative on him to make sure he would take it, like with his food, and he was like high as a fucking kite the whole day. Like he was just like this the whole time. Like he had to go. What up? You'd like annoy him. You'd be like, "Stop! Come on, stop!"
That's funny.
Stop! He's not having it. But he did. The next day he looked at us like, "You got more of that shit?" Right? No, I don't. I don't, Aloha. Come here. Come here. You don't get away. There you go. This one. This one right here.
Dude, so that anyway, is a giant cat.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big old boy.
He's just a big cat.
Yeah, he's a big cat. He's a Maine Coon.
He's
17
Maine
pounds.
Coon?
Yeah, he's 17 pounds.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I always wanted one of them.
Yeah, he's a handful or an armful, I guess, in this case. All right, go. All right. On that note, though, we're gonna wrap up, go on into post show. So thank you everyone for hanging out. We'll see you next Friday on the 15th for our next State of the Realm. So thank you for watching. And until next time, take care.
See you next week.
Peace.